And we are live.
Live.
Not so much late night because I guess it's 9 o'clock. It's late enough. LT
Yeah.
on the YT with the THC on the
PM.
free D. Yeah.
the
free D on the PM.
Yeah, so we're just talking a little Amazing Spider-Man before we jumped on.
We are.
So I wanted to ask you, these last 7 you're getting, are they also from that flat spine bindery?
Yeah, they are. So like I said, I'm probably gonna have around 14 or 15. I can't remember which. And I'm not in a hurry to do it, obviously, but one of these days I will have about 14 or 15 Spider-Man binds that I will have gotten that I will eventually get rebound. So that way they all kind of match and they're not like the flat spines and they're all matching and stuff. So that's what I'll do that eventually. But 2021 is the year for binds for me. I mean, if anybody follows us on Instagram, I posted quite the stack of shit to bind, and that was only half. That wasn't even my JLA run. That wasn't my Lobo that I'm working on. That wasn't my Robin binds. That wasn't 52. That wasn't
Batman
Fourth World. That wasn't all the Batman stuff I'm still buying that I need to get bound.
Even the Outsiders you got directly
afterwards.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think I included the Outsiders in that pick either because it's not complete yet. I'm missing a few issues, which is going to be tomorrow. That's going to be my my goal tomorrow when I hit up all those shops. I'm going to be looking for some back issues.
Yeah. Sounds like a busy Saturday, man. I mean,
sounds like a fun Saturday.
Yeah.
Pad Thai comics by yourself. It's gonna be amazing.
Oh my god.
The only thing that'd make it better is if the borders were open and I could take you to all these comic shops with me. Because if you were down here, we'd go to even more shops.
Yeah.
We'd go hit up a lot more. But
I wish, man.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like Canada plans on opening their borders anytime soon.
No.
Yeah, Mr. Trudeau said not until the U.S. gets their shit together. So
probably not going to be. It's going to be a minute. It's going to be a hot minute if Florida continues doing what they're doing. If anyone's from Florida, no disrespect, but it seems like things are just hog wild over there.
Dude, Nebraska's bad too. Like there's like a handful of like naughty states, and Nebraska's one of them. We're one of the naughty states.
Hope they don't drop massive pieces
because
of
our
coal on all of them.
Governor here's a muppet, but
yeah. Anyway, I see some people jumping on. Thank you all very much. How's it going? Hope you guys are having a great evening. Hope you guys are doing well, man. Like we're saying, it's been a wild year. You know, we were supposed to go to Planet Comic Con. Was it in February this year
or March? Yeah, end of February. Yeah.
So
and then it got postponed to August, and then we're like, all right, cool, like we'll do August, like that'll be fine. And then it got from August to never,
indefinite,
like 2021.
Yeah.
And I want to say it's March or April of 2021, and even then, I'm not convinced it's gonna happen, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting for sure. I mean, I was so excited. You know, I even did that ordered some things to your place in anticipation, but it's all right. They're
just sitting in my closet with all these binds I got to get done.
Yeah, it happens.
Speaking of binds, those Hulks, man, I'm like, God, if only I didn't have so much shit to read on my own, like I would be diving into some Hulks right now. I could easily finish it.
I know. I'd love to read those Hulks, man. I've been powering through Nightfall. I'm through the second omnibus. I'm halfway through the second omnibus now. I'm just having so much fun reading this older superhero stuff.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, I love it. I'm actually going to be diving into volume 3 of my Batman bind, so not quite to Nightfall yet, but I think volume 3 is like 1990 91, so we're not quite to Nightfall yet, but we're getting there. And I just wrapped up volume 1 of Amazing Spider-Man, which was like 1981 to halfway through 1982, and it was a blast. It was so much fun reading those stories.
Yeah, it's nice to change it up once in a while. I mean, I love reading what I read, but damn, sometimes it just gets a bit much. You just need a change of pace.
That is true. That's why I'm going to switch Batman, Spider-Man.
It's a good move, man. It's a good move. Yeah. I was doing a design today for a dust jacket, and I got really intrigued by this series. It was Bishop the Last X-Men. I never knew Bishop had his own series. Um and I don't know, it looked pretty exciting. I was flipping through some artwork for this like Gambit and Bishop mini series as well that Lobdell wrote. I wonder what that guy's up to now. He just sort of vanished after New 52.
He's doing shows. Last I knew,
Oh, okay.
he was doing TV stuff.
Interesting.
He did something recently. I want to say, hang on, let me double check, make sure I'm not talking out my ass, but I'm 99% sure he was doing something very recently, TV wise.
He might be still writing Red Hood. I don't even know if that's canceled at this point.
Let's see.
Maybe not.
Oh, he did have you seen the Happy Death Day?
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, he wrote it. That was him.
Really?
Yes.
He
didn't do the sequel,
Okay.
but he wrote the first one, the Happy Death Day in 2017.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude wrote it. Okay, maybe he's not doing a show. Maybe he was just he has stuff he's working on.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did the Critters Attack movie that came out last year on, I think it was a sci-fi movie.
Okay.
So he's been doing that. He's been writing. He's been keeping busy. That's for sure.
He's dipping into Hollywood. Okay. A bit more.
Yeah, a bit more.
A little bit. Have you? So I just found out about this today. There's this thing happening at DC early next year. It's called Future State. Did you hear about this?
Briefly, I saw like somebody had some artist had posted a Harley Quinn, like a Future State Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And I went, what is this?
It's kind of weird because like it's like future Elseworld stories, but like they did that, like New 52 had 5 years later or something like that. Do you remember that they had all these one shots where it was like this is 5 years from now? So it's like, I love DC, but I mean, you guys just did this.
Here, actually, I'll let you take this one. There you go. Throw that up there.
Oh boy. Evening. Have you seen the future DC Heroes thing revealed yesterday? Okay, yeah. So I can.
There's a Brazilian one. I only saw Harley Quinn. That's all I've seen. I haven't seen any of the others.
God, I'm blind as a bat.
Do you need glasses, sir?
I mean, the font is really small because I want to.
How is it
more
small?
On the screen.
What?
No, not on the question on the tab I was trying to open.
Oh,
yeah.
No,
that's gigantic. Yeah, I can read.
All right, hang on. Let me add that to the stream. There we go. Sorry, right, Aaron. We're gonna cut. We read your comment. We're gonna cover it up here so we can see. There we go.
Yeah, so they're just doing all these. They're two shots. They're two parters. They have some pretty cool creative teams, but they're just sort of doing a future of Superman kind of thing, and all these characters. John Kent a little older. Superman
versus Lex.
My God, yeah, Superman.
Oh, Mark Russell. Mark Russell's dope. I like Mark Russell a lot. He did the Flintstones and shit. So Mark Russell, right. Yeah, dude. Oh my God, the Flintstones is fantastic. If anybody slept on that one, go read it. It's like 12 issues. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I've heard it's amazing.
Oh, what is that? We'll go back. Yeah, what is that? Joshua Williamson.
League. Yes, sir.
Oh, sir. Yeah. I am there.
I don't know if he's taking over Justice League, but he's been writing the death metal tie-in. All 5. He's going to do all 5 issues of it. I don't know if he's taking over the Justice League title, but it's possible.
That's
a little
cool.
Aquaman action. The Flash looks interesting. I wonder what's happening here.
I was like, his legs got broke.
Oh, it's a Robert Venditti imposter.
I was gonna say, is that Robert Venditti's son, Vietti? Yeah. He hasn't earned the full name yet.
Yeah, they have Green Lantern's almost all these people I've never heard of except for Clayton Henry.
Yeah.
There is so Immortal Wonder Woman, we'll see what happens. The one I'm most excited about, I'm going to gloss over a lot of these. I'm pretty excited for Shazam. I'm considering putting it in the Jeff Johns run I'm binding. I don't know. It's, again, people I've never heard of before, but I'm not going to hold that against them. Anything Shazam, though, I'm pretty happy. Suicide Squad kind of looks cool.
Too. Yeah, no, that looks really good. At least the cover.
This is what
shit.
Very excited about. little Swamp Thing action. The plain cover is kind of lame, but this variant looks pretty sweet. Let's see if I can zoom in without. Oh, no one's paying us to show these ads.
Some Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, it looks like I can't zoom in too much, but that's a pretty sweet cover. Ram V, I know he's done some good things. Yeah, we'll see. Anything Swamp Thing, I'm pretty happy. Especially since it's almost Halloween time.
And when are all these issues starting to drop?
January. This will be starting
so
up in
couple
January.
months.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Couple months away.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Batman titles they revealed as well, but we don't have to go through those. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, there's probably going to be a future state omnibus the same way they did with that 5 years later thing. It's going to be super massive.
Yeah, I could see that. And then they're not going to collect everything. And
no, why would they? Although I did see today that the Ex Machina, so they released Compendium 1 and Compendium 2 is solicited. So maybe
crossed,
something's changing. Maybe.
Well, remember back 6 months or so ago, they did get rid of like all of their collected edition staff. Yeah. So maybe whoever they got to replace, maybe they're like, hey, we're fans. We know what people want. We know what it is that, what needs to be collected.
Yeah. As long as they don't cancel the Tomasi Superman omnibus, do what you will over there. And the Absolute Swamp Things. Keep those coming.
I got the binds on those. You guys can
like, yeah, screw them, burn them.
No, the volume 2 actually of Swamp Thing comes out into this month, right?
That's right, yeah.
And it does exist. I know somebody had sneak peek pictures. Like the book does exist. There's no canceling it. Now, do you have it pre-ordered? That's the question.
Of course. Dude, I've had it pre-ordered for like a year at this point. I think I got it for half price.
I was just gonna say, because if you don't have it pre-ordered, you might be fucked. Just because books have been going out of stock almost immediately, and then you have to wait. Anywhere. Yeah, and then you have to wait, 3 to 4 months to see if it comes back into stock again.
Right.
That has been a major issue lately.
So that's the one advantage Canada has had with Amazon, is that things like, I think Black Hammer Library Edition Volume 2 was sold out pretty instantly on IST, and people were like, well, we can't get it. And I would check Amazon.ca for like the week after that, and it was available every day, unless there's inventory is, misrepresented on the website. But
I don't know.
Yeah, it's been pretty nice.
There's for me. Well, here's something for the Spawn fans out there. So there was a little bit of some Spawn Freakout this last week. So for those of you guys that are fans of Spawn, there's used to be some Spawn Origin hardcovers. They were like deluxe editions, basically.
Right.
And there was 10 volumes, I think, is what they released. 10? I think that's right. I think it was 10.
Yeah, I thought it was maybe even more than that, but yeah,
maybe max 12.
Yeah,
but it was around. It was at least 10, minimum of 10.
Yeah,
and a lot of them had gone harder to find. The people thought they were out of print, etc. Apparently, the people thought they were getting reprinted, but apparently, what's going on is Image or whoever found some old stock of all the volumes except for the most expensive volumes, which are 7 and 8. But those are now up on like cheap graphic novels, for instance, that you can like pre-order them, and you can pick up 1 through 6, and then like 9, 10. You can pick those up for like $17 a piece.
Ooh, damn.
So for anybody that's a Spawn fan that may have missed out on them earlier or whatever, you can go now. I think I want to say it was cheap graphic novels that you can pre-order them on, and they were like $17 each. Volume 7 and 8 were not being reprinted or were not found. Like apparently those are truly out of print. So if you do happen to stumble across a decent deal on volume 7 and 8, you might want to snag those up. But yeah, so that was some pretty exciting stuff too. I know a lot of Spawn fans were very, very happy about that. Yeah, 10 volumes of Spawn Origins.
Okay, 10.
That's what I thought, because a lot of people, because it only goes up to like issue 125 or something like that, and people are like, well, when are you gonna collect the rest? There's over 300 issues of Spawn out. Like when can we get the next 125?
That'd be good.
And to our knowledge, there's been no word on them making future ones, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's very bizarre because like that, it seems to do well, that IP. I mean, Todd McFarlane's pretty much rested his whole career on the back of Spawn. Well,
Yeah,
most of it, and
his
I'm
comic
surprised.
career.
I'm surprised they haven't done, like an Invincible style or Walking Dead style series of compendiums for it. It's very
Well,
weird.
they kind of not like the trade paperback compendiums, which I agree that is kind of weird that they haven't done that. But they did have like these like big, like absolute like slipcase sized,
Right.
and they only released 4 volumes of those, and then they quit making them. Now I assume it's because those are probably fairly expensive to make, and they
Sure.
may not be selling as well as they had hoped. But yeah, even like you were saying, the Invincible, like huge thick trade paperback
Yeah.
compendiums, why not do that for Spawn? Like Spawn's hard to collect unless you get singles.
Yeah. Even those Invincible ones, it was like 3 volumes collected, all 125, 6 issues
Of Invincible.
Yeah.
Yep.
126, I think, something like that. So I
Yep.
mean, you'd need like 8 of them for Spawn at this point.
Yeah, probably like 7 or 8, but
Yeah. I mean,
if
if
they're in
people want
trade
that.
and they're in trade paperback, I guarantee they're gonna sell. People want Spawn.
Yeah, for an affordable price too. I mean, hell,
Yeah,
I'd
I have
consider
them
it.
all digitally. I have like 1 through 300, I think, digitally. Just
That's
because I
right.
was like, I'll just read them digitally, I guess. And I mean, and that's
Yeah.
fine. That's not a huge thing, but there's a lot of people out there though that really want Spawn.
Some more Spawn.
I don't get, and he's working on the movie with Jamie Foxx.
Right.
I don't,
That's right.
with COVID
Or
and stuff,
was.
obviously that put a hamper on things, but apparently it's still going on. Like that's going to ultimately be released at some point. So maybe he's saving up. He just did a Kickstarter a couple months ago for Spawn action figures.
My God.
He was releasing, and they were dope, dude. I was like, I don't need. I was like, I really don't need them, and I'm not that big of a like. I enjoy Spawn, but I'm not a huge Spawn fan. So I was like, I really don't need to spend money. But these action figures were sick. They were like 7 inches tall, and you could buy 1 or you could buy like 3, and they had like different head. Like they were very, very, very well done.
Yeah. Damn. Well, I believe it.
And he was backed within, I think, an hour or 2 of it like kicking off. Like the entire thing was backed. I mean, people could still order, obviously. They went well and above, but like the initial goal, I think he hit the goal within like an hour.
I'm wondering when on the topic of Kickstarter, I signed up for that Kickstarter with Cosmic Detective. That's what it was called.
Oh yes.
Lemire Matkin. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that in a while, but we'll see.
Well, while you're looking up that, also on the subject of Kickstarter, I know some people were really kind of bummed out that they may have missed the Kickstarter for the Curse Words hardcover omnibus. So if you did miss out on it, you don't get any of the extras or anything like that. But if you go to Charles Soule's personal website, like he has a store on his website, you can actually pre-order and buy the Curse Words hardcover there for $75. You don't get any of like the extras like from the Kickstarter, but you can still at least get the hardcover omnibus of Curse Words, which has like 1 through, I think it's 25, and then there's like
a really good price.
And then there's like 1 or 2 like specials in there. Yeah. Well, again, I got them all on the Humble Bundle deal a while back. So I was like, well, do I really want to spend? I was like, it would be nice to have these in hardcover. And then I was like, no, Matt, no. I have to keep telling myself no.
You're like, look at all these binds you need to do.
Yeah, I have too much stuff. I'm actually probably going to let go of some more stuff, honestly, just to make room. And I'm sort of, how sometimes I think you're going through this too. Do you ever, any of our listeners or watchers, subscribers, whatever, does anybody go through this where you like have to, you look at your collection and you're like, I like it, it's nice, but am I ever going to reread these? Do I have to have these in my collection? And then you just start purging shit, and the next thing you know, you've sold off like half of your collection, and you're like, huh.
Yeah.
And then you just go buy a whole bunch of new shit. But
Yeah, or go pick up the 12 binds that are waiting for you.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, definitely. I've been selling off a bunch of stuff, or trying to anyway. Yeah, I mean, if it's out of print and I can make a pretty penny off of it, and I know I'm probably not going to read it again, I mean, gotta let go
Yeah.
sometimes.
I have a bunch of stuff, honestly, that I would say would probably within the next 6 months, I think I'm just gonna end up getting rid of.
Yeah.
Just because I really, well, one, I really need to make room for all these binds. 2021 is the year of binds. If you guys like custom binds, stay tuned to this channel, because fuck, it's gonna be a lot. So I need to make room, but also I'm like, I don't know if I'm starting to get overwhelmed, because I was like, I just have so much and I have to read so much. I'm like, I just start like the anxiety of it all, and I'm I'm like, there's no point to this. Like, why am I doing this to myself? So I think I'm gonna really start kind of curating my collection a little bit better.
Yeah, for me personally, I've been trying to buy way less books this year. So I've been looking at my books and I was like, well, what do I want to reread? And everything I sort of gloss over, I make a mental note of like, well, I just glossed over that book in terms of rereading it. So
probably not going to reread it.
Maybe we should get rid of it. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
I've thought that about several books now, even some customs. I'm gonna also be parting with some customs, probably not a ton, but like a couple series. There's a few series. Yeah. Here, I'll give you guys a hint. Starman, the 8-volume Starman set that I bought on eBay. The thing is, I'm enjoying it. I don't want people to think, oh my God, he didn't like it. No, I'm enjoying it. Okay. I'm like halfway through it. I am enjoying it. I am enjoying it immensely. I think it's great. It's just, as I'm reading it and I'm having a lot of fun, I'm thinking to myself, am I going to reread this anytime in the next 3 years? And the answer for me is no. And is he one of my favorite characters? The answer for me is no.
Right.
So therefore, why not send them? Like, I read them, I enjoyed them. Why not send them off on their way to someone else?
Someone else enjoy it.
Who might enjoy it and appreciate the character a little bit more. So yeah, Starman I will definitely be parting with. It just takes up so much shelf space, and it's not something I'm gonna reread. Like Spider-Man, Batman are like my two big two, favorite characters. So even if I don't reread those books for 4 or 5 years, I don't care. They're my favorite characters.
Yeah.
So, and I won't part with Spectre. I'm not gonna part with Swamp Thing.
Right.
I'm not parting with that 10-volume GL bind. Those are sticking around. Hitman is sticking around.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just a few random odds and ends that I think I'm going to be parting with.
That makes sense. Yeah. That reminds me, before I forget, I had another Animal Man by Morrison convert this week. I let my friend borrow the omnibus. He read it in 2 days.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, I had no idea that comics could be this. And I was like, yeah, just wait until I start handing you some of these other books.
So he didn't read comics at all prior?
He had read some. He's more of a manga guy, so he likes a lot more the Japanese stuff. So I showed him this, and he's like, "Holy shit, the fourth wall!" I mean, I'm not gonna say, "Damn it, I shouldn't have said that."
Well, you didn't ruin anything.
Okay.
It's okay.
It means nothing. But yeah, he was blown away. Which is a nice reaction. I like seeing we've seen a few people in our line chat, our THC chat room, say sort of the same thing now that second deluxe edition came out and they've been able to enjoy it. I'm glad DC did that, man. Good for them.
Yeah, they just need to reprint the omnibus.
Be a good move.
Yeah, those are books I won't part with either. I won't part with my Animal Mans.
Yeah.
Those stay.
Yeah, I mean, it's so good. It's so fucking good. But yeah, that was a nice thing. I was like, for me, it's with comics, it's Animal Man, hearing someone's reaction to that. And then with movies, I've seen The Prestige about a dozen times now, but I love watching it to see people's reactions to it, because I hold that movie with such high regard. And every time I've seen people watch it, they get so excited and so into all the twists and turns. And it's Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman. I mean, what are we talking about here? I'll look at those guys all day.
So I got a couple movies for twists and turns for you. Bring up twists and turns, all right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm just gonna ask if you've seen it, and if not, I'm gonna recommend that you watch it.
Okay.
Usual Suspects.
I've heard of it, haven't seen it.
Oh, sir. Okay. It's got Kevin Spacey in it. As we know, he's a little bit of a creeper now, but this was back before we knew he was a creeper.
Yeah.
So go into it with that mindset. This came out in 99, 2000, something like that. So, but Usual Suspects, man. Fucking masterpiece of a movie. Okay. Identity with John Cusack.
No, I haven't seen that.
Once again, you like twists and turns. Identity with John Cusack.
All right.
Another fantastic movie. I'm trying to remember. Okay, there's another. Okay, I call it a guilty pleasure because a lot of people say that they really do not like this movie at all. Like they're like, it's so cheesy, and it was made in like 94, 95. So like the special effects and stuff, like it doesn't, it is what it is.
Oh yeah.
But I don't give a fuck. It is one of my favorite movies. I watch it every October. I actually need to watch it again this year. I haven't seen it yet this year. Brain Scan with Edward Furlong.
Yeah, definitely haven't seen that.
Yeah, Brain Scan with Edward Furlong. I think it was I don't remember if it was pre-Terminator 2 or post-Terminator 2, but either way, Edward Furlong is right around the same year as Terminator 2. Brain Scan. That's another great one. I love that movie. I don't care what anybody says. It's such a fantastic movie.
It sounds like it might be, just the name alone is one of those names you're like, okay, I could already visualize the movie poster.
No, you can't. I guarantee you, you're not gonna. You won't guess the movie poster. That one's fun. It's kind of like a horror movie. Like Identity, sort of a thriller. Brain Scan's kind of like a thriller / I think it's supposed to be horror. It's not really horror though.
Yeah.
But yeah. What else was there? Brain Scan, Identity, Usual Suspects. I think that's all I can think of right now for like twist and turn type movies. But if you like movies that take a lot of twists and turns, those are some great ones to watch.
Okay.
Hang on, I'm really curious. We just got I'm trying to figure out we just got what is this? Sergio, are you racist? Is this dude trolling? What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah. What a bizarre question. If we come off as racist, I don't know.
Yeah, if you're not trolling, feel free to follow up with that one.
Yeah.
Fucking I guess we'll see. I'll hold back commentary until I find out if he's trolling or not.
I don't see what we've done in this episode that's been racist.
Yeah, no.
In anything. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't.
It's funny. I mean, I don't think we're racist, so that's all that matters to me. Yeah. I mean, I'll check those 3 movies out, dude. I went to the drive-in last week, and I'm sorry, guys, this has nothing to do with comics, but the screen we were at played. The first movie was Honest Thief with Liam Neeson.
I don't know. That one doesn't sound familiar.
I mean, he basically, I'm not spoiling anything. This is the plot of them. This is the synopsis of the movie. The first like 5 minutes. He's a thief who's stolen like $9 million, and he's basically trying to turn himself in to the FBI.
Is it a comedy?
No, it's a Liam Neeson.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, it's him, doing his thing at 60 whatever or 50 whatever, beating the crap out of 20 something year old studs. Classic Liam Neeson. Then the second movie was this movie called Unhinged with Russell Crowe. The stupidest movie I think I've ever seen. He's basically a dude who has severe road rage and starts hunting down this woman and her kid to get revenge on them for cutting him off in traffic or something. I don't know who they made this movie for. It was just horrific all the way through.
What was it called?
Unhinged.
It
sounds like a really bad porno.
Unhinged.
Yeah. And then the last movie is Angel Has Fallen, which is just, It's the Gerard Butler movie.
Oh yeah. That's like the third one in the series or something,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. My wife
Nothing.
likes those movies.
Yeah, I mean they're fine. They got whatever. Liam Neeson, Russell Crowe. I mean, it's just they were just kind of disappointing. I wanted to see Tenet, but that was sold out very early. So
And this is a drive-in, or did you actually go
yeah,
into the movie
no
theater?
driving.
Yeah. Did you
It's a
have a
good time.
lady friend?
I did.
You did. So did you even watch the movie?
I did. I
You
definitely
did.
was watching the
Yeah.
movie. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. At
You
least
didn't
some of
become
it.
unhinged, did you?
Well, with Unhinged, I was like, this is kind of a shit film. Let's
So
let's
you're
have
like,
some.
hey, I got the popcorn trick.
Yeah. I've got the popcorn trick. I was like, let's see how far these seats go back.
Oh, look at that, all the way.
Yeah. God, I hope she's not.
What is this? A bed?
Yeah. Oh, look, it rocks up and down. Yeah. It was all right though. Drive-ins are fun. I mean,
Yeah.
you pay like $20 for 2 people, 3 movies. I mean, can't go wrong.
Yeah, we're doing a dinosaur drive-through safari next weekend. Yeah.
Wow.
Normally they have like these
sounds
like
dope.
dinosaurs alive exhibits, and there's like all
Yeah.
these mechanical dinosaurs and animatronics and things, and like you walk through it and it's interactive and all this other crap. But with COVID, they can't do that, so now they've made it into a drive-through experience.
Huh.
And my 3-year-old is like obsessed with dinosaurs right
Yeah.
now, so we
Makes
thought it
sense.
would be fun, and so hopefully it works out. I guess we'll see what that experience is gonna
I
be like.
mean, if they made drive-through, I saw Texas had drive-through strip clubs. If
What?
that worked, yeah, this was in like April, I think, too. They were quick to turn that around.
Girls got to make money somehow.
Hey, man. Now they don't
Well,
have these creeps trying to touch
what do
them or
they?
anything.
What do they? Do they? I guess do they treat it like a peep show? Like how you like sit behind a booth. Like, are you just in a drive-through and you just drive up to the window and?
Yeah, you just you open your window, she's dancing right there. You watch her, you give her tips or whatever, and you drive off. That's it.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I like that.
Yeah, it's a bit rough. It's a bit rough.
Hmm.
I would have a cop waiting at the exit of that drive-in to check up on those people in the future,
Yeah.
because I don't think the good things are going to happen. Not that I judge strip clubs at all, but if you need to go to a drive-in one, maybe you should spend that money on a therapist. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's
It's
awesome,
rough, man. But they did their thing. I think Toronto, even a couple months ago, had a huge outbreak of COVID because of multiple strip clubs.
Really?
I mean, yeah, it was a problem. The Brass Rail is what it was called. The Brass Rail.
There used to be a bar in the town I grew up in called the Brass Rail, but it was
There
like an
you
actual
go.
it was an actual bar though.
A bar is a little better, but if you're going into again a strip club called the Brass Rail, what do you? It's not even gold. Come on, I don't need diamond, but not even gold. It's brass.
It's
Oh,
gonna
man.
turn my dick green.
Yeah, you would have gotten COVID before it was a pandemic in there.
It's probably where it's not the China virus, it's the Canada virus.
That's
fucking
patient
originated.
zero. Yeah.
The Brass Rail.
Oh,
Have you been to the Brass Rail? Have you
No.
visited this establishment?
No. I've never been to a strip club personally. I've
Yeah,
seen
they're
a few.
overrated.
Yeah. I like I'm more of a cigar bar kind of guy. If I'm gonna go out with the boys, I'd rather go to a cigar bar. I don't even smoke cigars, but like just it feels
I
nice.
was like,
You
I
get
can't
the-
imagine you smoking a cigar. Mr. Health Nut over here, I can't imagine you smoking a cigar.
Well, man, sometimes you just need to I don't know. It's just fun. I went to one once in Indianapolis, and it was just nice to get a glass of whiskey with that big spherical cube. Already I was like, this is
He's
fun.
like, oh, this is classy.
Yeah. I put my hands on my hips. I was like, this is what it's all about, fellas. I went back about 40 years. I was an old man. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, we've really veered off the topic of comics now, but
We have. Oh, okay. Well, real quick to veer back on. So this is kind of sort of breaking news. I think it came out yesterday. Might have been today, but I think it was yesterday. So there was an actress, I can't remember her name now, but she had been tied to play the role of Jennifer Walters for the She-Hulk Disney Plus show. And a lot of people were like all on board for it. Like all these news, Hollywood news sources all ran with it. Disney never said confirmed nor denied it. They were just like, yeah, whatever. Well, apparently in a recent interview, she came out and said that there's no truth to this casting at all. She was like, I mean, I wish it were true. She said, but I don't know. She's like, one magazine printed it and everybody just ran with it and it snowballed into this thing. She goes, I had people congratulating me, like the dude that's going to be playing Shang-Chi, Simu Liu, he came out and like was congratulating her. I think James Gunn might have been congratulating. And she's like, I didn't get the role. She's like, there's no truth to this at all.
That's
so
incredible.
Apparently She-Hulk for the Disney Plus show has not been cast yet. So there's still a chance that it could be someone else, apparently.
Dude, how sad is it? Like, I can barely trust any media outlet now. I feel like they're just too quick to jump the gun as soon as they hear anything.
Yep.
I mean,
it's because you want to be the first one. You want to get it's all about clicks. Like you want to get your clicks first. Yeah, you want to get the clicks
after. Yeah,
because once you get that click and that ad revenue starts rolling in,
baby, now
who gives a shit? You know what I mean? You got the ad revenue.
That's
what it's all about.
Yeah, and ads are getting really invasive now. It's kind of disgusting.
Really my god, dude. Yeah. You'll be scrolling through an ad and you're scrolling through an article and an article will be like this long and there's 5 ads that break up the article. And
and then there's the little pop-up video the pop-up video shows up in the bottom right corner. Then you got the banners as well. You're like, Jesus, this is really gross.
It is so frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell am I supposed to enjoy what I'm reading when I have to click through 10 different articles?
Right. You got little surveys popping up and shit. How did you enjoy the experience? Well, let me tell you. I mean, what experience? It's like I got into the line at the amusement park and that was it. Yeah, it's been pretty crazy, but at least Newsarama has relatively accurate comic book news, so that's that's my trusted website.
Yeah. Oh, Gideon Falls 26 drops next week.
So one more issue after that.
Yeah. 26 drops next week. So for those that have been following along with Gideon Falls, I got a press release from Image Comics yesterday that was kind of talking about the penultimate issue. So it's wrapping up here very, very soon for those that are big Gideon's Falls fans.
I wonder what's going to happen next with those guys.
Who, Lemire?
Well, Lemire, is always
he's got 10 different forks in the fire.
I mean the two of them together though, him and Andrea Sorrentino, because they're unstoppable.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they'll Sorrentino will jump over and do some stuff with Bad Idea.
Ooh.
Lemire and Sorrentino on Bad Idea.
Ooh.
That could be fun.
I just hope Bad Idea does really nice hardcovers, even though they probably won't. Or they won't.
From the sounds of it, they're not going to do anything like that. They're not even going to do collected editions. From the sounds of it, they're only what they were saying. I mean, who knows? Things could change. Business models change. But from what I understand, they were only going to be releasing single issues, and they were supposed to be like a prestige type format, so they're supposed to be nice single. It wasn't just like a normal floppy,
right?
But yeah, from what I understand, they were not going to do any sort of collected runs or anything like that. Their plan is just
honestly, man, they should just do Kickstarters for hardcovers. It seems like the safest bet. It doesn't get backed, you don't lose any money, you don't have to worry about anything.
Yep. I mean, that's what they did with Curse Words, and that one definitely sold. They did it with God Hates Astronauts.
Yeah. I mean, Kint and Lemire just did that Cosmic Detective hardcover. I mean, if anyone's going to motivate Bad Idea, it's going to be those two. Like, guys, it's our name on the cover. Come on. You put Jeff Lemire on the cover of something. you're gonna sell it, okay? You're gonna sell it, and hopefully Matt Kint does too, because I mean that dude definitely deserves almost as much credit as I mean I love anything Matt Kint does. He's working with Keanu Reeves, like there's something going on. I think he's been
I think Matt Kint is one of those creators that kind of like Jeff Lemire at this point is a household name, right? He's done like the Animal Mans and he's done what Justice League Dark or whatever. He's done all that kind of stuff. He's now a kind of a household.
yeah,
He's a household. Yeah, he's a household name now. Whereas Matt Kint, I feel, is the same caliber as Jeff Lemire.
Right.
But because Matt is primarily known for Valiant, and then his because like prior to Valiant, I had no idea who Matt Kint was.
Right.
Until I read Valiant, and then I was blown away, and I went, "Holy shit!" But he's excuse me, he's also got his creator-owned stuff as well. That's also really solid.
Yeah.
But so does Jeff Lemire. But neither one of them, I would say, are. I think Jeff Lemire is becoming more well known for his creator-owned stuff, but it definitely helped working with DC and Marvel.
Yeah, sure.
I think to get his name out there. Whereas Kint, to my knowledge, that I can remember, I don't think Kint's done anything like that. Kint is, I mean, I know him from Valiant.
Yeah. He did a handful of issues of JLA during Forever Evil in the New 52, but that was pretty much it. Like that's all he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully this stuff with Keanu Reeves gets his name out there a little bit more. And obviously Jeff Lemire with Sweet Tooth is just more so with the show. I mean, his, you know, if people pay attention to that, I don't know if anyone pays attention to that based on the graphic novel by ... But hopefully, I mean, should be a pretty fun show.
But yeah, no, Matt Kint deserves more recognition. I think if people aren't familiar with him and they want to check his stuff out, go read anything that he did in Valiant. Holy crap, you don't even have to read the Valiant universe.
Ninja.
I love the Valiant universe, obviously, but you don't even have to do that. Just go read his Ninjak will blow you away. His Rye is really good, but I feel like with Rye it kind of helps just to kind of be a little more involved with the Valiant universe, I think a little bit. But like Ninjak, you can just jump in blind on Ninjak.
Right. Yeah.
Fantastic run on Ninjak.
Yeah.
Exo Manowar, that was kind of a reboot. I mean, so I think you can kind of jump into his Exo blind as well.
Yeah.
And he's just so good.
He just nails it. His
Ninjak was amazing.
Yeah. And I mean, he had awesome artists on that too. Clayman, who's become a superstar.
Yep. Rye had Clayton Crane. Whoo!
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Clayton Crane.
Oh my goodness!
So back when Valiant was worth reading. Oh, they've fallen so far.
Yeah. So for Valiant, if we have anybody watching that's a big Valiant fan, I guess I'm curious to know what your guys' thoughts are on the current state of Valiant, the DMG Valiant, if you will. I am kind of curious of what your guys' thoughts on this. Mike and I have talked about this, and we're just kind of tired of all the minis. Like, just keep a book going. Stop with all the minis. Stop rebooting everything every 50 issues or less. But yeah, so there's they just released that they're going to be doing the Harbinger, and I can't remember his name. Is it Robbie Rodriguez? Is that the dude's name?
Yeah.
He's doing the art on the Harbinger, and the writer. Excuse me, I'm not familiar with who the writer was. Apparently, they've done a couple things, but I'm not familiar with who the writer was either. And I was looking at it, and I just wasn't that impressed with the way that it looked. I just wasn't a big fan. And then I heard other people that were also longtime Valiant fans that were complaining about it. And they had said that this isn't even the Harbinger that we all know and love from like the 2012 through basically 2018. This is the Harbinger for the Acclaim days from back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Which, if that's the case, what? Like, nobody liked Valiant back in the Acclaim days. Nobody.
Terrible.
Nobody
idea.
read the Acclaim Valiant. That's why they went under like very quickly, because nobody read anything to do with Valiant Acclaim. That's like their dark years.
Yeah, this best left forgotten. They took that dog behind the shed and they shot it in the head.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, don't resurrect that thing, man.
That's why they went away until 2012 when Dinesh brought them back.
Right.
So
yeah. And
yeah, I don't.
As you guys can probably tell from our little StreamYard background here, we do very much like Valiant.
Yeah, Valiant 2012 to 2018, and then Valiant, from what I've read at least, from the early 90s, the original Valiant through right before the Acclaim days was also really solid stuff.
Yeah. The stuff they've been doing those classic Omnis for.
Yes.
Is solid.
Exo Manowar, Archer and Armstrong.
Yeah, the Shadow
Quantum
Man
and Woody, Shadow Man's coming out, Bloodshot.
Yeah, those are good. Yeah, I mean Christopher Priest, Quantum and Woody. Yeah, it's a great time.
Yeah, that'll be good stuff.
It's a damn shame.
But yeah, it's just, what are they doing? And then, but they're pumping out action figures. Apparently, they're gonna have action figures and things coming out, which I think is great branding. If you had a product that it would get me excited to want to buy a Bloodshot action figure, but now I'm kind of like, do I really want to? There was a time in my life where I would have forked over a lot of money for those things.
Now it's very pick and choose, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. As long as they're done with the Vin Diesel stuff, it's all good. That didn't work out very well.
It didn't, but I don't. But Dinesh was involved heavily in that.
Well,
yeah, that was weird. I don't know if they had a different vision going in. And you know how sometimes studios get involved and then studios fuck everything up. So,
right.
I almost feel like maybe the studios kind of got involved on that one.
Yeah, or maybe Vin Diesel did, and he just had his say.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, this is a really random tangent, but my friend and I, we've talked about Vin Diesel very much over the past month or so.
Oh, do you have a man crush?
No, not at all. I very much dislike Vin Diesel. He's
I
the
don't
human
hate
thumb.
him. Really? I don't hate him.
I just have a problem with him. There's something about him that rubs me the wrong way, and I know I'm Canadian, but this is where I take my stand on the politeness. I'm sure it'd be nice to him if I saw him, but you never know. I'd probably try and rub his head. He has a jazz album coming out. I don't know if you knew that. He's making music. He released a single 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago called "Feel Like I Do." He's got, if you didn't know this, from years ago, he has covers of songs on YouTube that you can watch. He sings covers of songs. One of them songs by Rihanna, by a lot of female singers. Yeah.
Are they good?
I mean, they're not terrible, but it's him and his super deep voice just singing some Rihanna. So
under my umbrella, Ella, a. Does he do that? Please tell me he does that.
No, he doesn't do that song. He does slow jams. Yeah, he does slow jams. So I'm sure we've lost a bunch of live stream viewers who are now YouTubing that, which is fair. Which is fair. That dude.
That's great. No, dude, I don't have a problem with Vin Diesel. He made his mark back in the Street Shark days. Okay. You've seen me and Rusty in the past talk about Street Sharks. He did a commercial for Street Sharks way back in the day, where he's just rocking a shirtless vest and he's like, "Come here with the awesome Street Sharks." And it was just, I don't know, man. So Vin Diesel's been around a while and the dude loves comics and that kind of stuff. So I greatly, I gotta love that. And I guess when you go to see a Vin Diesel movie, or when you're gonna watch a Vin Diesel movie, you know that you're getting a Vin Diesel movie. Like, you know what you're getting. Like when you watch Triple X or Fast and the Furious or what, you know what you're getting. It is what it is. The only one I think that he did that I was that I was shocked by, because it wasn't a Vin Diesel movie, was, I think it was called The Pacifier, the one where he's the babysitter.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Family
one.
Comedy.
Yeah, that one was a little bit different. But aside from that, you know what you're getting with a Vin Diesel movie. So
look, I enjoyed him as Riddick in Pitch Black.
Pitch Black, yes. I was gonna say Pitch Black.
Pitch Black especially was fantastic. I don't know. I haven't seen all the Fast and Furious movies. The first handful were obviously cheesy because that's what they were going for. Now I know it's become this grand thing where they're robbing places.
Yeah,
it's changed a lot. is
Oh,
changed a
very
lot.
much so. The first one was
Street
first one was
racing.
good. Yeah, the first one was great.
Cheesy, didn't age well, but for the time, it was a really good time.
Made me want to go drive my car really fast.
Yeah, exactly. And now, I mean, it's just spiraled out of control. And but that's fine. I guess I don't have a big problem with him. I just, whenever I picture him, he's wearing a wife beater, and I don't know why.
Well, it's because that's not how you picture it. That's just because that's how you see him every time. Yeah, no. But you know what you're getting. But he likes comics, so it is what it is.
You're welcome on the show, Vin, anytime.
Oh, that'd be dope if he ever if he just randomly was like Googling his name and stumbled across this. We should title this Late Show with Vin Diesel just to see if he's gonna come on and be like, fuck you. You're not family.
Be like, thanks for promoting my music.
Now I'm gonna go do Umbrella. All right, anyways.
I'd love to see him recreate that music video.
With Baby Groot. Oh my god, that'd be great.
I forget he did that.
Yep, that he did. All right, we're gonna jump into some comments and stuff here. The people have been commenting for the last hour, so we'll jump in. We'll tag team it here. I'll let you go first.
Hi, Matt. I got Eden02.
Is that a game?
Maybe.
JT, is that a game? I mean, you're a gamer, JT. Is that it sounds like it would be a game.
Eden Falls, I would maybe understand. Was that what it was called?
Yeah, Eden Fall. That's part of the postal. That's part of the postal universe. Exactly yeah. No, Eden02. That makes me think that it's a game of some sort, though. I can't lie, man. I'm so like out of the loop on video games. It's sad. Like I enjoy video games.
It looks like Eden02 is a manga.
Oh, I'm definitely out of the loop on that. I don't read any manga at all ever. So I'm definitely out of the loop on that one.
I barely read it, so.
My son, my 12-year-old, he really loves animes, and I've never ever gotten into anime at all. Like, it's just not my thing. I don't hate it. It's just not my thing. And my 12-year-old loves it, and he's really big right now into like Sword Art Online.
I watched that. Yeah.
I watched a handful of episodes with him because I wanted to make sure it wasn't like hentai or anything, you know, he's getting himself into.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed what I saw. I actually did. I was like, this isn't a bad show. It's not bad. But he doesn't want to wait around for me when I'm available, so he just watches everything. And then I'm like, hey, you want to watch? He goes, oh, I've already finished that. I've finished all 3 seasons. And I'm like, what the fuck? He's also really, really big into My Hero Academia.
I've heard about that one, yeah.
So I've watched a handful of episodes with him on that one, and it's actually really good. I can't lie. I actually enjoy it quite a bit from what I have seen. So I'm like, oh, that's all right. So then I was like, okay, well, you're into these animes. He really liked what was the other one that he was really big into? Sword Art Online. I don't know. There's a couple others that he's really big into. So I was like, well, maybe he'll be into manga. Like, I've tried to get him into comics. He's not interested in comics. I go, maybe he'll be interested in manga. So I found a really amazing deal on like a whole, because apparently for My Hero Academia, there's like 30 volumes or some shit. Like, there's a lot. So I was like, oh, maybe I found a really great deal. So I was like, hey, would you be interested in these? And I kind of like showed him, and like I was like showing him what they looked like and how, you know, you read them a little bit differently than you would a normal book and things like that. And he was not into it. And I go, do you want me to get you these? Like, I'll buy you these if you're actually going to read them. And he goes, no, I'm all right. I'm like, really? I was like, I thought you liked My Hero Academia. Why wouldn't you want to read these? And he goes, yeah. He goes, not to be rude, but you know, reading's not really my thing. And I'm like, fuck. Like, I bought him all 9 volumes of paperback of Bone. I don't know if he's read all 9, but he did come up to me at one point and said that he was really enjoying reading Bone.
Nice.
He did say that.
Okay.
But I think that's because it's a really quick read from what I understand.
Sure.
I haven't read it, but from like flipping through it looked like it was a really quick read. Like, there's not a lot of actual reading.
Yeah.
It's more kind of like art stuff rather than reading. So I think maybe that's why he really liked it, because there's not a ton of
I mean,
There's
manga's
not a ton
usually
of
like that
dialogue.
too. Yeah. But
Yeah,
I
he
mean, I
just.
get it. I get it.
I'm like, how do I
I
get
get
my
it, man.
12-year-old into comics? I binded. Binded. He really likes Impulse as a character, right? From like all the cartoons and shit. So like Young Justice and stuff. So he really likes Impulse. So I'm like, all right. So I collect all the Impulse singles. I get them bound. I mean, I'll read them too. It's fine, but I get them bound for him. I'm super excited to show him Impulse. He's read 5 or 6 issues and then hasn't touched it since.
Father of the year over here. I mean, you know, you got to give it some time, right? I mean, at 12, I was mostly gaming.
Well, dude, I've been reading comics since I was like 8. Like I have pictures of me reading X-Men comics when I was
Right.
like 8. Like, I love reading. I loved comic
Yeah.
books.
Yeah.
I'm just really bummed that none, like my daughter, she's not, I mean, she's only 8, but she's not, no, but she has zero interest in the shit
Yeah.
too. She's like, no, I'm good. I'm just going to watch puppy videos on YouTube. What?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm trying to
Yeah.
get like my younger ones. I'm like, hey, let's watch Ninja Turtles. Let's watch He-Man. Let's watch Thundercats. Like, let's watch something. Like,
No.
nah, man. He wants to watch dinosaur stuff. I mean, he's into dinosaur. That's cool, but I can't. None of my kids are nerdy. How do I get my kids nerdy? If anybody else is a parent out there, please tell me how you get your kids to be
That's a
nerdy.
good question.
I've tried introducing them to Star Wars. They don't give a shit.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it just takes time. You know, they need to hear it from a friend or something, and they'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Yeah,
I
my
mean, it's a
dad's
sad
cool and
reality."
all, but he doesn't know what the fuck
Yeah,
he's talking
yeah,
about.
yeah. He still listens to his thrash metal. What?
My
So I've
dad
got,
still thinks Metallica is good.
dude. Their second symphony in Metallica 2 was not bad recently. I
Oh
enjoyed it.
yeah, S&M too.
So a couple things I want to bring up. First of all, if people are unaware, there is an R-rated TMNT series coming out soon from Eastman and
What?
Waltz.
Really?
It's R-rated. It's called The Last Ronin. Yeah, it's going to be R-rated. They're the ones who are saying this. They've been interviewed, so it's not none of this.
Whoa! Hang on. Eastman and Laird are teaming back up. Because
I
with
don't
the
think Laird's involved.
I was gonna
Let me
say because
see,
with
though.
the IDW stuff, it's been Eastman but not Laird.
Yeah, so I think it's the same guys, Eastman and Tom Waltz, I believe is his name.
Oh, okay. I thought you said. I think you did say that, and I think
Yeah,
I heard Laird
yeah.
for some reason.
But they're saying it's R-rated, so should be pretty cool. It's
This
gonna
is
be
a
5-ish
movie,
mini.
or
No,
it's
it's a
a
5-ish
book.
mini. Yeah. I'm sorry, man.
Well,
And
you know,
then-
the original Ninja Turtles, the black and white, weren't meant for kids.
Right. Oh, definitely not.
So
The other thing is that you saw the Invincible trailer, right?
yes. Oh, how could we not talk about Invincible?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, just that Invincible trailer looks so good.
Nailed it.
So good.
They nailed
They even
it.
got the brain splatter going on in it. And I'm like,
Yes.
oh, this looks epic.
I cannot wait. It looks like they're going to do it justice. Hopefully, I know Kirkman likes to veer from the comics. Hopefully, he sticks as true to the comics as he can because they were good enough. Like, you don't need to change anything, man.
Yeah.
You guys, you nailed the art style. You got a Ryan Otley looking art style. Just stick with the story you had. It was damn near perfect.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm very excited about that. Speaking of, have you seen The Boys season 2 yet?
No, I have not.
Okay, no spoilers, but holy shit. I'm just gonna say that. Just holy shit.
Okay.
You know that season 2, I mean, this isn't a spoiler at all. They fucking advertise it. Season 2, they bring in Stormfront.
Right.
And instead of a big burly man, they've changed it into a woman. This go around, and because of the fact that they've made it a woman, it makes for some very interesting interactions with her and Homelander.
Okay.
So if you have not watched The Boys season 2 yet, all episodes, it's now officially aired. The season's over, so you can now binge watch it. I highly recommend it. Really good show. It's a lot different than season 1, but not necessarily in a bad way. It just has a different feel, I think, than season 1, but it's still really solid stuff.
Yeah.
And apparently they've already got a green light for a season 3.
Dope.
And they've also gotten a green light for like a spin-off.
That's right. Yeah.
So
the college version of it or whatever.
Yeah, superhero college or something like that.
Yeah. I've heard that season was really good, and then I heard that Lovecraft Country country was good as
Okay,
well. Okay, hit me
so
with it.
there's two. So there's 10 episodes of Lovecraft Country. The last episode airs this coming up Sunday. So there's been 9 episodes out. I've watched 8 of the 9 with my wife. We just
Yeah,
watched 4 of them tonight, actually.
nice.
Um, and I don't know how I feel about this show.
Mm,
Like the first episode, my wife and I were like, fuck yeah, like it was so good.
yeah,
Such a good
yeah,
show. We're like, this
yeah.
is incredible. This is awesome. Second episode, you're kind of like, oh, okay. And then third episode, okay, fourth, fifth, like it starts to kind of go, I don't want to say off the rails. It's very different. And
Mm,
there's times where I'm going, what the fuck is going on?
yeah, 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 yeah.
So yeah. Interested to see how it
Okay,
all kind of ties together. The acting and stuff in it's amazing.
right.
The overall show I think is really good. It's just it takes some crazy twists and turns where you go, what the fuck am I watching? And there's definitely parts where I mean, I get Lovecraft had a very crazy outlook on things, and he
Yeah,
created a very crazy universe and stuff. So I get it. It's just it's weird.
yeah.
It's good. But
I
it's
heard
weird.
episode 5 in particular was quite disturbing. It's quite
Which one was
disturbing.
5 again? Did,
I don't
did
know.
they?
I
Oh,
haven't seen
okay.
it, but
I'm trying to remember. I probably watched it tonight.
my friend who was telling me about it, he said his wife could not look at the screen. Pretty much, she could not watch it. It was that disturbing to her. So,
Oh, I think that's the. I think I know which one that is.
okay, I need to watch
Yeah,
it though. It's on my list.
I'm pretty sure I know which one. I think that's the one that takes place in Korea.
Mm,
I'm
oh
pretty
boy,
sure that's the episode that takes place in Korea.
Korean horror is always frightening.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. However, episode 8, that's the one we just
Yeah,
watched before I started recording with you. Dude, there's these 2 little girls, and I'm not spoiling it, but there's these 2 little girls that are what we don't know what the fuck they are. There's just these 2 little girls that have like really like fucked up makeup and really crazy hair, and they like are dancing. It's so creepy to watch these little kids. Like if it was a grown adult, I'd be like, oh, it's not that scary. But because it's 2 little girls, it's
yeah, yeah,
creepy as
yeah.
fuck. Like this is
It's always
creepier than
creepy.
the twins from The Shining. This is
Wow.
creepier than the little kid in oh my god, what's that Jordan Peele movie? Not Get Out, but the one where
Yeah, I know which
they're
one
kind
you're
of in the
talking about.
upside down sort of thing,
Yeah,
like the mirror world. The hell's the
yeah.
name of that movie?
In that subway station or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's the name of that movie? Anyways, creepier than that.
Wow.
Like it was just these little girls are like they're dancing and they're smiling and they have like fucked up makeup and they're doing like these weird dude, super creepy.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
told my wife, I go, those would make some awesome costumes for Halloween this year. Like,
Right.
I could
Yeah.
see a lot of kids dressing up as like the
Yeah.
2 little girls from Lovecraft Country.
Yeah. No cops this year for Halloween.
Yeah, someone just commented they're the Jigabobo girls. Fat Jesus,
There you
Fat
go.
Jesus just
You're
commented.
welcome.
The episode is called Jigabobo, and
Okay.
yeah, it's the Jigabobo. Dude, it's fucking
That sounds
creepy.
creepy.
So creepy.
Yeah, little girls doing
Um,
anything's kind of creepy.
Yeah, this is up there with creepy. Since we're talking about shows, let's touch base on a couple more shows, and then we'll dive into comments and run
Yeah.
through these. The Cabin. I kind of talked about this previously, I believe. I know you and I had conversations about
Yes.
it. I'm a big Burt Kreischer fan.
Right.
I love Burt Kreischer. Did
Right.
you watch The Cabin yet? There's only 5 episodes, and they're like 20 minutes long each.
I've watched the one with him and Miss Pat where they
That one
do
was
that
awkward.
sound therapy or whatever. That sort of meditation
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, she was on fire, I'll say that episode. She
Yeah.
was not having it.
No.
It made
And I
for
love
some weird
Miss Pat,
comments.
dude. She's
Yeah.
hilarious. But like, I think it started off fine until they met Kaylee and Joel.
Right. And then she
then
was
things
dominating.
well, she even said that Kaylee just kept getting drunk. And I think it just kind of got weirder from there and just more awkward.
Yeah.
Hey, that's how we can tie this in. Kaylee Cuoco does the voice of Harley Quinn in the Harley
That's
Quinn
right.
animated series. Boom!
right.
We tied it back to
That's
comics.
right.
So you've seen episodes 1 through 3, or just the one episode?
Just the one. Just the
Oh,
one,
dude,
yeah.
you got to go back and we'll start
I
with
know,
episode
man.
1.
Well,
The one
listen,
with Joey Diaz and Tom Segura. Oh my
yeah,
god, I
must be
laughed so
amazing.
hard I
Yeah,
almost pissed
those dudes are
myself.
hilarious. Yeah,
Oh
Joey Diaz is unstoppable. I mean,
yeah,
so funny,
dude.
dude. I watched. Speaking of Bert Kreischer, so I watched the live stream for one of his podcasts last night. Two Bears,
Okay.
One Cave.
Yes, my buddy just messaged while we're talking, and he goes, "Hey, I know you like Bert Kreischer. You ever seen two Bears, One Cave?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, my buddy was telling me. I was talking about you. Like,
Yeah,
oh, my buddy
yeah.
was telling me about that. He just watched the live stream last night. Said it's pretty hilarious." And he goes, "Oh, dude," he goes, "Here's some good ones." And he's just started sending me clips.
Yes.
There's like one where it talks. It was, I don't know if this is a random clip or this is the one
Yeah.
from last night, but
Yeah.
for Jennifer Aniston's safety.
Oh yeah, that's an older clip. That's from one of the
Okay,
podcasts.
so
yeah.
he sent me that one, and then he sent me another one that says Tom Segura discovers Bert Kreischer drinks
Yeah.
a gallon
Yeah.
of something.
That was also on the pod, just a regular podcast episode.
Okay, so he sent me those. He goes, "Dude, you got to watch these. They're hilarious."
They're so funny, man. Those two guys are just incredible together. In the live show, I didn't know what to expect. I knew it was going to be R-rated because they're like, oh, we're going to be boozing. Tom Segura was taking all these edibles. They saw they had clips in between of their visit to a dominatrix, which was amazing. But then also they randomly started playing straight up porn on the live show. And they wound up getting an actual male porn star to talk with him, Bert Kreischer's favorite male porn star.
Was it as awkward as the Adam Sandler interview?
No. Bert Kreischer knew a lot about this guy. He's asking about his tattoos and stuff, and I was wondering, like, who is Bert watching when he watches porn? It seems like he's looking at the dude, which is fine. He can do his thing. But at the end of the interview, they go like, "Hey, can you like show us your dick right now?" That's Bert saying. He's like, "Hey, can you show us like your dick right now?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, I'm just hanging out here in sweats," and just gets up and pulls his pants down on this live stream. I was like, "Holy shit, this is insane!"
Was this on YouTube?
No.
Oh, I was like, how the hell did they do that if it was on YouTube?
No.
So okay, so if I wanted to go back and watch this live stream, how do I watch it?
I think you go to, I forget what the website is, but if you go to Bert Kreischer's page, you can find the link, no problem.
Go to bert.com.
Sure, yeah, it's probably on there too.
That's his website.
I think for the next week it's going to be up, and then they get rid of it permanently. I haven't seen it.
They probably want to ditch the evidence of anything they discuss.
It's hilarious too because they talk about all these illegal things. They're saying they're going to go cocaine throughout the entire live show, and Bert's like, and then Tom will be like, "Check out The Cabin on Netflix with Bert Kreischer." He's like, he's got this show on Netflix. It'll be on there for a short period of time after this live show. I mean, it was insane. It was insane.
All right, I'll check it out because I got the weekend to myself, so I'll check it out. Maybe I'll watch some of it.
fun.
How long was it?
About 2.5 hours.
All right, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Last but not least, before we jump into the comments, the last thing I want to say is next Friday, Borat 2 comes out. And I think it's Amazon Prime Direct, and I am so excited.
Oh my god,
so incredibly excited for Borat 2. I had people from work messaging me, and they were like, "Oh, I just saw the trailer," and I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be so good."
Yeah, I can't wait.
And then I started asking people if they've seen Who Is America. Did you see that yet?
I haven't seen all of it. I've seen clips on YouTube though.
It's on Showtime. You gotta watch the whole thing, dude. I have never laughed so hard. I have almost made myself like piss my pants. I was like, it was hilarious. Who Is America is so fucking funny.
That's what I hear.
All right. Anyways, we'll jump into the comments here. We'll jump in. I'm sure everybody's bored of us rambling about shows. So we got JT already. We got Amazing Asian Evening.
What up, Mike?
Greg Rome. Hey, hello. William Presley. Hello, everybody. How's your night?
Good, sir.
I'm doing great, man.
Not too bad.
All right, here you go, Mike. Take it.
I haven't read all of Outcast. I've read the first 2 deluxe editions, so 24 issues. Really good start. Very solid start. Kind of fell apart for me, though. Got a little too weird, and I just felt like Kirkman was losing it. The first hardcover, I agree. You're going to have a really good time great horror material. Gets a little crazy afterwards. Just saying. Just gonna throw that out there.
I've heard that too, because I've read, I think, just the first deluxe, and I really enjoyed it. And then, because I remember Red was really big into this, and then he's like, "Yeah, it lost it. Like it wasn't very good."
Yeah.
So then I started to watch the show when they made the show for it.
Right.
I was like,
Yep.
"Oh, I'll check the show out." And then the show was kind of weird, and I'm like, "Oh," and I just kind of sort of fell off of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I don't want to say Kirkman's losing it. I haven't read that new series he has with Chris Samney called Firepower. If anyone's read it, let me know how it is. But I think, yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
we'll see.
We'll see.
JT, I am now 30, and I got Gwen Stacy retro Marvel Legends action figure. That is fantastic, man.
Yeah.
That'll look good on my shelf too. If you ever want to get rid of it, she'll look really good right there. So
There you go.
just throwing that out there. No, that's
And-
awesome, man. That's great, JT. Happy
And
birthday,
if you,
man.
yeah, if you just turned 30, happy birthday. Absolutely.
Hey Zeus, what's up,
Happy
guys?
Zeus. Got the Lord with us.
All right, you're up.
Hello, taking a break from reading Saga to watch you guys on chapter 7. Really enjoying it so far. First of all, good for you for calling it a chapter.
Not an issue, it's a chapter.
It's a chapter. It is a book. And enjoy. I'm going to let you know, issue 54 will disappoint you very much just because there's supposed to be 54 more issues, according to Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples.
Nothing has come out.
Nothing in sight for the past 3 years, maybe 4 at this point.
Yeah,
so
it's been a while.
crushing. Because that's a hell of a cliffhanger to leave off on. Let me tell
Yeah.
you, Brian. I know you're watching Brian K. Vaughan. You should keep it going.
Yeah, Saga, that book, I haven't read all of it either. I think I've only read the first 2 deluxes. Because again, everybody kept saying, "Oh, there's a big cliffhanger," and I'm like, "Well, then I'll just wait." And I didn't realize I was going to be waiting for a few years. I thought I was going to wait like maybe 12
Probably
months.
a decade at this point.
But that was a book that took me by surprise. I just by looking at it, I go, "This does not look like a book that's going to interest me at all." But again, it's one of those books where you just got to read it. Like you can't go based off a synopsis because the synopsis isn't going to make you want to read it either.
Yeah.
You just got to pick it up and read it, and then you go, "Oh shit, this is really good."
Yeah.
Because what was the synopsis? It was like kind of like a Romeo and Juliet type
In
thing.
space,
I think
pretty
is
much,
kind of what. Yeah, I think it's sort of how they made it sound, and I went, "That sounds dumb."
Yeah.
And then I read it, and I was like, "Ooh, this is really good."
This is a lot of fun. Yeah.
Saga is fantastic.
Agreed.
I was going to Harrisburg Comic Con in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I'm assuming that was probably canceled.
Bummer.
But I wonder if that's the same. I think that's the same one that Jeff goes to. I think Jeff lives near there. Our custom bind dealer, if you will.
He's our drug dealer.
Yeah. Jesus, I'm on reread mode as well, enjoying old school books of magic.
Nice.
Yeah, again, for those that follow our Instagram, you guys saw my big haul of books of magic. I have the complete run, and then one of the minis, the 25 issue mini, and then or not a mini, but a side, not a mini, a spinoff.
Right.
And then I have a couple more spinoffs I need to get yet before I can create them. See, here's what the thing. I got started in the books of magic. So I was going to buy the official omnibus. It's dropping, I think, in December.
Right.
I think is when it is.
Yeah.
I was going to get the official omnibus, and cover price is like 150. So chances are you're going to get it for anywhere between 75 to 87-ish, whatever.
Right.
And I was like, well, I can buy the official omni for that much and then wait and pray that they release additional omnis to wrap everything up. Or I can spend almost the exact same amount of money and just buy the entire fucking set and floppy and then just bind it myself. And then I don't have to wait and I have it all and it's whatever. So I went that option. So,
dude, having read mostly custom binds for the past week with the Nightfall stuff,
it's so much more fun.
Dude, I've got to say it's a lot more fun with the newsprint where it's like as light as a feather and you can hold it in your hand even though it's massive.
Yep.
And I've really got to say, man, the bind, like if Lehman is a very good bindery in terms of the quality, like the fact that you can open it from page 1 and it lays flat is just the best feeling ever.
Yep. Herring and Robinson's the same way. Haushin for the most part's the same way. It's great. Does Lehman do sewn bindings usually? Is that how? Yep, that's the way. So Haushin, they will do sewn, but they normally do defab. whereas Harry and Robinson prefers to do so, and they'll do DFAB if they have to, but they prefer to do so. Like that's their first choice, which is why I love them so much.
Yeah,
because I agree, man. Right when you open it up from page 1, and it's like, oh, this is amazing.
I don't have to fight this thing. I don't have to hold it up and like support it with things around the house. I mean, my God.
And it is so much lighter. They look huge, not like in height wise, but like thick wise, they can look huge, and they're super duper light.
Yeah, it's like it literally weighs nothing. It's amazing.
It's fantastic. Like you said, dude, that newspaper print. Oh, it's so great.
The smell.
The only downfall is like I said, with the ASM, I have I just finished up years 81 to 82, and because I mean it's fucking almost 40 years old at this point, the pages were definitely yellowed.
Yeah.
Which was, at first I was bummed, but then I got used to it, and then I loved it because it really just kind of adds character to the book. And so I appreciated it a lot more.
Like a whiskey.
But that initial in the very beginning, I was like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But now I actually dig it more.
It's great.
William, I'm reading Irredeemable and Incorruptible right now. Yes.
Good for you. Enjoy.
Love those books.
Oh, yeah. Enjoy.
That reminds me, we need to get our boy Thomas Judge back on the show. We need to set up a time or figure out how we can do this, because he's got some irredeemable, incorruptible stuff to show us.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, we need to figure out a time when we can get him back on. Future State is just 5G with a different name.
Sure.
It's probably true, to be honest with you, because they were pretty balls deep into 5G when they decided to axe it, so it's probably pretty accurate.
Well, I'm glad they're just sticking with the 2-issue, stories, as opposed to actually moving the DC universe to that for like 5 years.
God Mode.
What up, God
Yo!
Mode?
Swamp Thing's coming back. God Mode made a live show. Well, thank you, sir. Hopefully you're still watching.
Yeah. Appreciate you joining us.
The 10 volumes of Spawn. Todd McFarlane needs to keep releasing those Origin hardcovers. Volumes 11 and onward. Big Spawn fan.
There you go. Come on, Todd. We know you're
Get
watching.
with it, Toddy. Hey, Matt D, what's up, man? I only keep stuff I know I'll love and will reread at some point. Oh, I'm assuming that's what William was saying too, is that he's starting to take inventory on his collection and deciding which he's going to keep and which he's going to part with. Here's a question for you,
Mike. If they make a Jurgens Superman Rebirth Omni, would you get it? I heard you excited for Tomasi's Omni and wondered if you'd like a Jurgens run. Yes, I would.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love that. Dan Jurgens is fantastic. I loved so he started introducing the return of the original Superman in the New 52, or it was called DCU at that point, some stupid shit. I think it was like Lois and Clark is what the series was titled, but it was like pretty much starting up the whole return of the original Superman from prior to the New 52. And I mean, Rebirth, especially as Action Comics, hell yeah. Give me that. I loved it. So much fun.
Yes, sir.
Superman
I would
was
agree.
So great when Rebirth started.
Hey, here's a question for you. I saw somebody comment on one of our YouTube videos earlier, and you didn't respond on the thing. So I think, you know what? I'll just throw it at you and just ask you on the show. Right. They asked, let's say you get, you custom bind something. Later on, an official release comes out. Do you upgrade to the official release, or do you keep your custom binds?
Depends on the official release, I guess. With most DC books, if I see it's over 1,000 pages, I get very weary of what the quality is going to be like. I love oversized pages, but like it's not worth it for me to have to set up a whole thing to read it. You know what I mean? I'd rather just pick up my bind. It's my book. It reads so well. Damn it. I don't know. Depends. It depends, man.
For me, I will always go customs first.
Yeah, I mean,
because I just love customs. The more I've been reading so many customs lately, I've really fallen more and more in love with the art form, I guess you could say, of custom binds and the quality of custom binds. It beats officials hands down.
Yeah. I mean, if it's an absolute, I might consider it depending on the artwork, because that's a significant difference for me. And usually
That's a huge difference.
Yeah, and usually absolutes have pretty good binding, you know, not bad. It's usually not bad. So depends on the run.
How about this? Would you do an official absolute, or if you had the opportunity, let's say money was no object, would you rather custom bind an absolute, you know, like where you print the pages oversized, like our boy Thomas Judge does?
Oh, okay.
Would you rather do that, or would you rather have an official absolute?
I think I'd rather do the custom bind.
Yeah,
it'd be better.
It would be. You get to design it. There's just so much cool shit you get to do with custom binds that I absolutely adore.
I mean, at that point, you may as well, if you're really concerned about the slipcase, you may as well make a slipcase as well. Just if you're going balls deep on an absolute, money's not a question.
Yeah, money's no object in this case, because as we know, printing is
all the way.
Printing is crazy. Joey, brain scan is awesome. Shit. Yes, I'm not the only one. I love brain scan, dude. You got to make that on your list.
All right.
Jesus, I owe Mike for the amazing experience of reading Animal Man, and Matt for the Spectre, doing the Lord's work, guys. Preach on. Thanks.
And that's coming from Jesus. So
Jesus is half brother.
Dude. We made
Jesus HB. That's Jesus' half brother.
I'm glad you survived,
man. Matt D, do you guys like Usagi Yojimbo? I saw today that Volume 1 is getting a reprint. That is actually big news for a lot of people.
I saw that. Yeah, I don't know who posted this. Someone posted this saying it's not actually a reprint. It's a new edition of it with extra content.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so you're getting a little more bang for your buck, if you will.
Have you ever read Usagi Yojimbo?
I've read a mini series where he crossed over with the TMNT.
Yep.
That's it though.
Okay. So my experience with this is dating back to like the 1980s, 1990s TMNT TV show, where he was a character on the show. He had his own action figure and everything, right? And so I always thought that growing up that he was a TMNT character. So when I saw the Stan Sakai stuff where he has his own books and his own run, I went, oh my God, somebody took a spin off of TMNT. I didn't know until I was much older that that's wrong. Usagi has actually been around a lot longer than them. And so once I found that, I was like, oh. So I've read a little bit, and I enjoyed what I read, but the mindset I just didn't like grab me and make me want to read more. So I just kind of never got into it. But I'm not opposed to reading it. I enjoyed what I did read. I thought it was really, really well done. I kind of like this little universe that Sakai kind of created. And I've heard that Stan Sakai is like one of the nicest fucking people in the world.
I've heard that as well.
So you gotta support, the nice guys and stuff. Yeah. And they do have some really nice additions out there too. Those black faux leather, they look gorgeous.
Which makes me think I should have read it by now. If it's got additions like that.
Maybe we'll do a read through. Maybe we'll do it because it reads quickly. It's kind of like
it's like a manga, but it's not.
Yeah, it reads very quickly. It's not dialogue heavy or anything like that. Exactly. It's kind of like Bone. Yeah. So maybe we can do a readathon.
That'd be fun.
By the way, Identity, boom, is a good one. See, I'm 2 for 3 so far with people backing me up here. I know somebody's gonna back me up. Somebody's got to back me up on Usual Suspects.
Yeah, you're 2 out of 3.
They got to agree with Usual Suspects. Yeah, the popcorn trick. Yeah, see.
Yeah. I don't need tricks, man. Oh shit! Whoops! I prefer virtual drive-through strip club. Okay, that's gonna come soon. VR's taking off, man. Pretty.
It's probably already here. I know people are like, I just got the Oculus 2, and I'm like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I did virtual. I had like one of those. The Samsung VR headsets where you plug your phone into it. Yeah, I had one of those.
I mean, hey, I know a bunch of people with VR. It is the future. Kind of terrifies me, but we'll see what happens. Facebook is releasing a new Oculus. It's going to be like 4K resolution, all these crazy things for like a $399 price point. But the catch is they're going to be selling a whole bunch of your data as you use it. So that freaks me out. What also freaks me out is just general surveillance and how much it's increasing. I don't really have anything to hide, but it leads to a bad thing. Like I saw that recently PlayStation now is going to start recording, like, you join a chat room with your friends just to talk on headsets while you play, and they're going to be recording all that.
It's like Alexa recording your shit
all the time. Which, I mean, while you're gaming, like, you say some pretty incorrect, like, you say things because you're upset or you're in the heat of the moment. I mean, you're playing a shooter game. You say things you shouldn't say once in a while. I wish everyone well.
I'm sick of the bogus clickbait rumors.
Agreed.
Years. Journalism is dead in every field except sports reporting, I think, and even that's probably not very good either.
Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Yes, Mark Ruffalo also congratulated. Going back to that SheHulk thing, Mark Ruffalo also reached out and congratulated her, like through social media. And yeah, she had to come back and I can't remember the actress's name, but she was like, "No, I'm not. I haven't been cast." Is Ben Reilly Volume 1 sold out everywhere? I don't know about if it's sold out everywhere, but I do think that it's either out of stock or very close to being out of print. I know Clone Saga, like Volume 2, is out of print. I think Clone Saga Volume 1 is still relatively available. And then I think Ben Reilly is also like either out of stock, almost out of print, or out of print.
Which is interesting because everyone hated that stuff. So
yeah, apparently I love Clone Saga. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I really enjoy Clone Saga. I can't wait till I eventually get to that point with my customs because I really dig Clone Saga. But yeah, no, a lot of people were not fans of Clone Saga. It did drag on. I'll give them that. It was lengthy. It did drag on probably a lot longer than it should have. But I enjoyed the shit out of the story. Mike, hit that like, y'all.
Thank you, sir. He's doing a better job than we are.
Oh, Mike, I'm gonna go get some pad thai tomorrow, dude. I'm so excited. Ooh. I'm so excited. I'm gonna go check out a bunch of comic shops and eat some pad thai. And man, I think perhaps Ben Reilly Volume 1 is getting hard to find sometime in the spring. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was a few months ago when it really started going.
I think so. What's happening is new books stopped coming out. And new books I've gotten, there's been less, stock for most of these books. They get out of stock real quick on the usual.
And then COVID doesn't help matters at all.
And so people are like, well, I kind of want a new book. Let's just see what's out there. And I guess Clone Saga was one of those books.
Fuck. And oh my God. Okay. I will also say, if you guys, I actually did an overview on the books on our YouTube channel a while back. Those books are fucking gorgeous. They have these like really awesome wraparound covers on the art and stuff. Like they're just so well done. I was so happy when I got those officials. Now I got them in custom bind, but when I originally got those officials, I was so happy to have those. I thought they were gorgeous. They looked really good. They are older videos, so don't mind the quality, but yeah. But no, the wraparound art and stuff on those Omnis is amazing. I really, really, really dug the way that Marvel did those. Star Trooper agrees. I hate the rebooting and covers that have nothing to do with the book. Back when we were talking about Valiant.
Yeah.
Mike projecting his Vin Diesel love.
I mean, maybe it's hidden deep in there. Look, if he pulled his dick out on me, I don't know what I'd do, but I probably wouldn't run away. No, I'm kidding. It probably just looks like his head.
Frost Wusa. Currently reading The Demon by Garth Ennis. It reminds me, I need to get Volume 2 because that's another bind that I need to get done in 2021.
Get it, man, before that trade paperback goes out of print.
I know. I got the first volume. I just need to grab the second volume. It's like $12. I just need to fucking buy it.
It's great.
Triple X is the Limp Biscuit of cinema. Deep down it sucks, but you have fun anyway. That is a very accurate statement. That is a very accurate statement.
Incredible. That's incredible. Yeah, agreed.
A lot of people love the My Hero Academia anime manga. Yeah, my kid fucking loves the show. And from what I've seen of it, I actually really dug the show too. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was actually pretty cool.
The production quality on those shows is getting incredible. I mean, compared to like Dragon Ball Z, which is
yeah.
still
Well, that's the other
definitely
thing. I tried getting my kid to watch because I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, right? So I was like,
yeah.
well, if I'm gonna watch an anime, like we're gonna watch Dragon Ball Z because at least I'm somewhat familiar with that shit. Tried getting he will not watch Dragon Ball Z. He's like, nah, it doesn't really seem like anything I'd be interested in.
What?
I'm like, I'm failing as a fucking parent here. Oh, I did get him to watch. There's another anime that I really enjoyed when I was in my like late teens, Trigun. I did get my kid to watch Trigun and he loved it. He loved Trigun.
Trigun is fantastic.
Yes, so we did watch Trigun together and he did enjoy that one.
I don't know if he's old enough yet. Not that it's an inappropriate show, but there's a lot of kind of sciencey stuff to it, a lot of conspiracy theory stuff to it. Full Metal Alchemist.
I think he's already started that one without my knowledge.
Especially they did one called Full Metal Alchemist, which sort of veered from the manga, but then they did one called Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is pretty much the manga panel for panel. Seriously, one of the best shows ever. Anime or not, it doesn't matter.
I want to say
that and Death Note. I don't recommend Death Note for a 12-year-old, that's for sure. But when the time comes, that's a good way to go.
Well, there was another one that I was like, oh, I really liked Hellsing. And it's been a long time since I've seen Hellsing, but I was like, oh, I really dig Hellsing. I go, I'll show my kid Hellsing because maybe then we can get into Hellsing together. We started watching it, and I think we got like 10 minutes in, and I go, you're not watching Hellsing, and I fucking turned it off. I was like, you're not old enough for Hellsing. I go, it's been a while since I've seen it. You're not watching this one.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the ones he's watched because I got him a Funimation subscription because I'm a cool fucking dad.
Crushing it.
So I got him a Funimation subscription because I'm trying to help. Yeah, he did. He watched Full Alchemist Brotherhood. That's the one that he fucking watched.
Okay.
And then he also watched Trigun, Sword Art Online, My Hero Academia. He's watching Fire Force. That's the new one that he's watching.
Never heard of it.
And then the other one that he just wrapped up that he says he absolutely loves and he thinks that I should watch it with him at some point is Assassination Classroom.
I've heard very good things about that.
And I was like,
Class kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, that's what I thought. I was like, it sounds like Deadly Class. And then we kind of started like looking at it a little bit, and I go, it's kind of like Deadly Class. I was like, okay, so yeah, he wants me to watch Assassination Classroom with him.
It's Deadly Class with the Japanese aesthetic for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, he did watch Full Alchemist Brotherhood.
Dude, it's so good. I think
you
would genuinely enjoy it.
There's 64 episodes and he's seen all of them. I'm like, what do you do? He just hangs out. Yeah.
I can't wait to talk with him, man.
He just hangs out in his room and watches fucking Funimation on his iPad.
Dude, I think maybe he would enjoy Dragon Ball Z more. There was what did they call it? I want to say it was the uncut version, which I think it might have cursing, so maybe it's not a good choice. But they cut out a lot of like the, Frieza powering up for 2 episodes. They cut it down to like half an episode. You know what I mean? So it's
like the abridged version or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Dude,
I don't know.
I mean, God damn it, that show's a classic.
I know that's at least I know somewhat who the characters are and things like that because I used to watch it years ago. So I was like, I at least know who the characters are. Like, if my kid goes, "Hey, Piccolo," I'm like, "Hey, I know who the fuck that is."
Yeah.
Whereas right now, my kid's talking about All Might from My Hero Academia, and I'm going, I mean, now I know, but at the time, I'm like, I don't know who the fuck All Might is. Yeah, I don't know. So I need to figure it out. But those are some solid anime titles. Kid's got great taste. Well, I'm glad he does. That's the only nerdy thing about him.
There you go.
I've tried to beat him. I've threatened to beat him if he doesn't start watching Star Wars. I can't even get him to watch Star Wars. Damn, I've even tried like the Star Wars cartoons. I was like, well, maybe he'll be into like, I don't even know what they're called because I have never seen any of the Star Wars cartoons. But like
Rebels.
Yeah, Rebels, things like that. And he has zero fucking interest.
You should tell him we spoke to the guy who wrote the Rebels show.
Greg Weisman, yeah. Well, I tried getting him into Young Justice. He likes Young Justice, and I go, well, Greg Weisman. I go, we've interviewed him, and da-da. And so then I introduced him to Gargoyles because I'm like, well, that's a classic. And yeah, he's just not feeling it.
Batman, what about Batman the Animated Series? Have you tried that?
I feel like I've tried it, and he was just like, eh. I've tried X-Men 92. He was like, eh.
Era.
He did like the SpiderMan from the 90s, like the 94 SpiderMan cartoon, which is fantastic. Really well done series. He did like SpiderMan. And he liked Ultimate Spider-Man, and he liked all the Spider-Man spin-offs that Disney's been doing.
Did he watch Spectacular Spider-Man? Because that was by far one of the better ones, in my opinion.
I think he did like that one, yes. I want to say he saw that one. Ultimate Spider-Man's pretty fun. Because that one he teams up with like Brass Tiger and all them, Bronze Tiger, and yeah. Those ones are pretty fun. Not Bronze Tiger. The hell's her name? White Tiger?
Silver Fox? No,
I think it's White Tiger. And he teams up with like Nova. White Tiger and Nova and all of them. Yeah, he likes that one. That one was good.
And just wrote those.
Just ordered the Fourth World Omni, hoping I don't get the one with duplicate pages.
I hope so too, friend.
I'm gonna take my broken 2-page one and turn those into customs eventually. 2021. Greg, well, I'm 19 and didn't start reading comics until I was 15. It's easier to watch a show or movie, and we're in an age of technology.
Yep.
Son of a bitch.
Give it time, man. I was in my 20s when 18 when I started reading comics again. So
I just thought that I could like make my kids nerds.
He'll walk by that shelf eventually and be like, "Oh, this looks."
So this is how badly I wanted my kids to be nerds. When my son was 2. We were shopping. I saw this Back to the Future shirt with the DeLorean, so I bought it. Right, so I'm like, well, fuck, I love Back to the Future. So I bought him this DeLorean shirt, and he'd wear it. And anytime he would wear it, I would always make him say, "Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads." So this little 2-year-old, he would just go, "Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads." And I would like, because I was like, well, I'm gonna start him young. I'm gonna nerd him out, and he could care less.
Is that the Lucifer omnibus I see behind you?
Yes, sir.
So just wait until he's in his emo phase, and he'll walk by that Lucifer.
I'll give him Sandman, give him Absolute Death.
This is it.
Mike, don't try to push your interest on your kids. It will just push them away from it. Give it time. I bet he'll come around when he's older. Oh, I just have like friends that are like, "Oh, my kid loves this stuff," and I'm like, I fucking tried, and they're not into it at all.
No. Mike said I will just push them away from it, so he's gonna intervene. He's gonna intervene.
Matt, don't do it. I'm gonna come to your house and push your kids away from you.
Don't listen to him. You do what you want to do, kid.
A lot of kids now are very stubborn. Ooh, boy, ain't that the truth. I notice it is very hard to get them to do anything suggested to them by adults. They have to find it on their own or have another friends. I guess that's true. I found all that stuff growing up on my own or through various friends. My mom would try to be cool. Fuck, I'm turning into my mom. Because I remember like growing up, like my mom would always try to be like, "Here, I bought you this latest thing." And like I thought it was cool. Like she would like try to like buy me stuff that I was into. But I was like, "Thanks, Mom." But I didn't like think, "Thanks, Mom, you're the coolest." Like I'd just be like, "Oh, thanks." And then I'd go like talk to my friends about shit. And my mom would be like, "Oh, what are you interested in?" I'm like, "Nothing. Shut up." No, I wouldn't say that to her, but I guess that makes sense. Son of a bitch. I'm turning into my parents.
It happens, man.
I just finished the Aquaman by Jeff Johns omnibus 10 minutes ago. Awesome run. The artwork was incredible.
Yep.
I can't remember who did the artwork in that one.
Ivan Reyes and John Pelletier. Both. Paul Pelletier. Yeah. Incredible. Both of them. They're just... You got to read the Jeff Parker run, Ryan. Just keep going. Read it online somewhere. Jeff Parker crushes it too.
Nice. I completely agree. I'm 19 and found comics on my own from the movies, but I'd get annoyed when my dad tried to push stuff on me. Fuck, I just need to back off then. Damn it.
Eventually they'll see the collection and be like, "Oh my God, what have I been missing out on?" That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, he does love horror movies, though. I can push horror movies onto him, and he's always open to me suggesting horror movies that we watch together.
That's your in, man. Horror comics one day. Just be like, hey, have you checked out Nailbiter? You might love
Yeah, hey, read this Nailbiter.
Oh, you like Nailbiter? Joshua Williamson, let me tell you.
Let me tell you about one of your dad's favorite writers by the name of Joshua Williamson.
Yeah.
You ever read Birthright? Because by that point, I'll have them all custom bound because it'll be wrapped up by then. I'm like, here's a bunch of copies of Birthright.
You like that? He did the Flash. You like the Flash? Remember those?
Oh yeah, you like the kid that guy. Oh, speaking of Flash, you got to read this Impulse.
Domino.
And yeah, it's great.
Here's Animal Man by Grant Morrison.
And then we're gonna follow that up with Doom Patrol, skip the Sex Men issue, and
no acid. If I see acid in this house, there's a problem.
Fat G's, hey guys, just joined. What is up, sir?
Well,
they are officially making a season 3 of Harley Quinn. That is correct.
Life is
God,
awesome.
Harley Quinn. That's a show I never knew I wanted.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what.
It's been very hard to reread Nightfall without doing.
That's how I was when I was reading Secret Six.
I have broken you. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. It's Secret Six, it's even harder because he's like trying to be like the dad
father
to
figure,
he's trying to be the father figure, and so it's even harder not to do it like in that Harley Quinn voice.
Man.
Oh, it's so brutal. You know what's really fun though, because I always attach voices. I'm assuming you do too, but I always attach voices to characters. So when I'm reading my Spider-Man stuff, I can still, to this day, I still have the 1994 Spider-Man voice actor in my head, like perfectly. Right, so like that's my Peter Parker and my Spider-Man, and I love it because I feel like I'm a kid again when I'm reading those books. It's so much fun.
And just real quick before we get into the next comments, I feel free to let me know if you want me to read any. By the way, we got confirmation that I forget both actors' names right now because I'm Tobey Maguire and I forget the other guy's name, the British dude. They're going to be in, no, not Tom Holland, the other guy, Andrew
Garfield.
We're going to get a multiverse Spider-Man movie, right? I mean,
apparently that's not true.
Oh, that's not true either. Good.
No, that came out and everybody was super excited that we were gonna have like the Spider-Verse thing where like all these different Spider-Man were all gonna meet up. And I like 2 days later, I read an article that says that that's not true either. And I was like, what the fuck is up with all this fake news lately?
It sucks, man. I hope, there needs to be.
That sounded epic. I would love it if they got Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland. Get the voice actor from like the animated ones and like do an animated version. Like, dude, there's so much cool shit that you could do.
You know what, man? I think the next movement is to defund news companies. I think that's the way to go because they're literally spreading misinformation to a level where it's like we're talking about movies now. Like you can't even fact check.
You have to fact check everything now. It's super annoying. Lovecraft Country is amazing. I do recommend it. It's weird. Yeah, push through it and it gets better and better. It starts off amazing, dude. The first episode will fucking blow your mind and you're like, this is so good.
I'm excited.
There you go. You can have that one.
Oh, yes, Greg. If you're going to get a kid hooked on comics / similar media, it has to be when they are very young. Just like drugs.
Well, I've tried with Back to the Future when he was 2, and it still fucking failed.
I think it's implanted.
I did introduce him. Okay, so you know how Bill and Ted 3 recently came out? Yep. Okay, so I've already bought it, watched it, loved it. But the other night, it was just my kid and I. Everybody was in bed. It was just me and him. And I was like, hey, we ended up watching horror movies too that night. But I was like, hey, you want to watch something fun? And he goes, sure, what? And because I had watched 3 lately, and I'm like, well, now I really want to watch the first one again. I go, you want to watch Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? And he goes, what's that? I said, buckle your seat, kid. And I turned on Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and I thought for sure 10 minutes in, he's going to be like, Dad, shut this shit off.
Yeah.
He watched the whole thing, and when it got done, I go, what did you think? And he goes, dude, that movie was fun. And it was the second one. I go, there's Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey where they meet death. I go, that one's fun too. We're gonna have to do that one next. And he goes, I totally want to watch it. And then there's the third one. So he's super excited. So we are gonna finish the Bill and Ted series. He did enjoy Bill and Ted.
There you go.
I thought for sure he was not going to watch it, but he loved it. So I was like, okay, cool. Maybe there's hope for this kid yet. Is that Deadpool at the left booth? Are you referring to my cool Deadpool bunny slippers? Because if you are, then yes, that is Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Deadpool bunny slippers.
Yeah, I imagine that's what he's referencing because I have no Deadpool anywhere.
Yes, I have my Deadpool bunny slippers. They're dope. They're super comfortable too.
I believe it.
Oh, he's talking about Lovecraft Country. I thought the same at first, but it just got better and better.
That's what she said.
Koreans rule. Oh, that reminds me. Anybody here, is anybody like a big like Adam Sandler fan? Or like a Adam Sandler universe fan? So I'm a huge Adam Sandler fan. So like his production company is Happy Madison. And it's like Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, Little Nicky, like all the movies, right? Big Daddy.
Hubie Halloween.
Yes, I just watched Hubie Halloween. Have you seen it yet?
I've seen half of it.
It is way better than I expected it to be. Number one,
so much fun, man.
It is a really good movie, and not only that, there are so many Easter eggs from like the Happy Madison universe.
Yeah.
And so the part where like the kids are like throwing shit at him, and this isn't a spoiler or anything, but like when the kids are throwing shit and they pedal off, and they go, "Oh, Doyle rules!"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, it's a fucking Billy Madison throwback." I was like, "Yes, this is great."
So much fun, man.
Yeah, there's tons of little Easter eggs in there. That was actually a really good movie. I was very impressed with it. Otherwise they'll have to find it on their own through their own interests. Also reading now is looked at as lame by teens, which doesn't help.
Listen, it's not just now. When I was a teen, it was also lame.
You were a teen 2 years ago. What are you saying?
10 years ago, a decade ago. A decade now, man. I'm 27. I need to start creating offspring soon.
So when you're 19, you're not a teen?
You are, yeah. So 8 years ago, fine, fair enough. I'll give you the 2 years. Yeah.
Us. That's the movie. Thank you, Jake. An hour later, we get to your comment. Thank you. That is the one. Us. That's what it was. My wife and I were trying to think of it earlier too. And my wife's like, she goes, "What's that movie?" She goes, "Because these kids are freaking me out." And she goes, "It's worse than," and she starts like naming off all the actors. I go, "Yes, the Jordan Peele movie." And she goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Get Out." And she goes, "No. And I go, "Oh wait, no, that's the wrong one." And I go, "Yeah, they're in the mirror. There's the mirror world." And she goes, "Yeah." And I was like, "Fuck, what's that?" We could not think of the name of that movie.
Wild, it's 2 letters.
Us.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
That's a good movie too. Have you seen Us?
Fantastic movie.
Yeah, that's a really good movie.
I'm excited. I guess he's just producing it though, but Candyman.
I'm very fucking excited about the Candyman reboot. I actually just watched, not just, but like within the last like 6 months, I watched Candyman, the first one, and I was like, God, I forgot how good this movie is.
Right.
The sequels probably not so much, but I'm very excited for the Candyman reboot. Very, very excited about that. Jordan Peele actually produced Lovecraft Country.
That's right. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So super creepy. Yeah, those girls, man, creepy. I don't know who those little actresses are, but they are perfect. Like they're dancing, like the way they move, and like it's so well done. So well done. That is true, Greg. Although I recall about 10 years ago or so, many middle school, high school students were reading manga like crazy. I don't notice it as much now.
That's true too. That's back in the heyday of Naruto and Bleach and One Piece. Yeah.
Oh, see, I've tried. So I've been told that these shows are good. Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece. I've been told they were good. Yeah. So I've tried to introduce. I've tried like, hey, I've heard these shows are good. My one buddy's huge into anime, so he's like, yeah, dude, have your kid watch these. And I tried introducing those to him, and he's like, eh. He's like, he's almost like old man anime. He's like, I want to watch My Hero Academia, like the new shit.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think he thinks that like Dragon Ball Z and like Naruto and Bleach, but he loved Trigun though. He loved Trigun.
Fascinating. Wow.
Yeah. No, he really liked Trigun. But I think he liked Trigun because Trigun's funny.
Yeah.
Like Trigun's almost like an anime version of Inspector Gadget. Like
Yes.
shit works out and it's not supposed to. Like,
Yeah.
but I think he almost likes it because it has like the humorous aspect to it. But I don't know.
Vash Stampede is a very likable character.
Yes. And he looks badass too until you find out he's a weirdo, like a little nerd. You had me at Joey Diaz and Tom Segura. Yes, The Cabin on Netflix. It's 5 episodes long. It's like 22 to 27 minutes an episode. I binged the entire thing in like 2 hours. It's great. I laughed my ass off on almost every episode. The Ms. Pat episode, it was just a little awkward, but Bert Kreischer even goes, "This is a little awkward."
I'd love it if Bert Kreischer noticed us somehow.
Did I ever tell you about the time I met him?
That's right. You did. Yeah,
dude. He was supposed to come do our podcast, the one that Fork found movie reviews, and he never fucking came on, but he was supposed to.
I was hammered.
Yeah, he was definitely hammered. Anime is pretty popular though. There's a lot of high schoolers that like anime, like DBZ and Naruto. Not my kid. They also love the MCU movies, but not many actually read the comics or manga.
You know, just based off of our channel and some of the comments I've read or messages we've seen here, eventually people get into the comics. After a while, the movies are like, they're like, I want more, and the movies don't come out frequently enough. So let's go back to the source material and see what's going on.
Yep. Matt, what should I do with my Gwen Stacy retro Marvel Legends action figure? If I were you, I would take that thing out of the box and I would display it proudly on a shelf next to all my SpiderMan epic collections that you got going on, sir. Yeah. That's what I personally would do. But some people don't like taking stuff out of the box. I am not one of those people.
Yeah.
I hope Bobby Lee is on The Cabin. He is. Bobby Lee is on episode 2, I think it is, of The Cabin. Yeah. And I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I will say it was one of the funnier episodes. It was Bobby Lee, Donnell Rawlings, and Bert Kreischer on that episode.
Killer, man. Donnell Rawlings and Bobby.
Yeah, yep. That was the one with Bobby, and that episode was also fucking hilarious. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Yeah.
Let's see. I find that true about MCU movies, Greg. The kids enjoy the movies, but I feel that the comics, for the most part, with the exception of the character likenesses, have no connection to the movies. That is true. JT turned 30 on the 6th. Well, nice. Happy belated birthday, buddy.
Absolutely.
That's why I haven't dived into Saga. He doesn't want to get hung up on a cliffhanger and then wait 10 years.
Get your heart broken, man. It's worth it.
I refuse to start Saga until if they continue it, because I keep hearing that cliffhanger is a doozy. I'm with you. I'm right there.
Yeah.
Saga is the US version of manga that go on hiatus. There are so many manga series on hiatus. Some of them will probably never conclude.
So I think I've mentioned this before. I just want to give another shout out to these people. So manga artists, they're called, I guess, mangakas in Japanese. They write and draw for the most part, everything. And they get out like 20 pages a week.
Jeez.
Granted, black and white, all of it, inked, of course, but 20 pages a week.
That's a lot.
Which is why there are like 30 volumes of My Hero Academia, even though it started like 4 years ago.
Yeah, it started like in 2008 or some shit. Like, I was like, oh, that hasn't been out that long.
They pump those things out. Yeah, they work hard over there.
Well,
a lot of competition. Yeah.
Let's see. Ryan P. Saga, one of the best comic runs of all time. Vaughn still says it is coming back. Well, I hope he's right.
I hope so. I love Brian K. Vaughan, but I think he's lying through his teeth.
I love Brian K. Vaughan, but I think he's a fucking liar.
Brian, you're welcome on the show anytime.
Jesus, speaking of newspaper print, Matt, did you ever get that Shazam book? Not yet. I keep saying I'm going to, and then I don't do it. The problem is, I just don't know if I'd have it in my collection. Like, I really want to check it out. I really do. I just don't know if
it's Shazam.
Yes, the Power of Shazam book that came out, and it's not like it's expensive or anything. I just don't know if it's a book that I would want to keep in my collection, because, like I said, I'm having a heart to heart with my collection lately and over the next few months. So I'm just really being careful about what I buy, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have been kind of reading it a little bit digitally though. I did read some of it digitally, and some of it actually ties in with Starman, believe it or not.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so I was actually reading it like through the Starman stuff too. So I was kind of like, oh, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was good. I did enjoy it. Jerry Ordway and
Yeah.
but yeah, I just don't know if it's something I want to keep in my collection. Since I'm kind of having like this midlife crisis about what books I want to keep and get rid of, I'm just a little paranoid about it.
Yeah, Shazam, man, I wish he'd get more. Like Jeff Johns had the whole thing going. It ran 15 issues total. 2 of those he didn't write.
That was a fun series though.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I wish I'd just give it to like Jeff Parker or
Jeff Parker would be a good one.
even so between Jeff Johns, this is the most recent run, which is I think 2018 to 2020, 15 issues long. Jeff Johns and this dude Brandon Loveness, who I'd never heard of before, but he wrote 2 issues of Shazam. I think I recommended you read one where it was Shazam teaming up with Batman, which was dude, it was so much fun. It was so heartwarming and just such a great. It felt like Shazam so much. I was like, I would rather this Brandon Loveness gentleman write it than Jeff Johns. That's how good it was.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was just. Oh, I think like kids would dig it. I really dug it. I think it would have been for everyone. Hopefully one day. I love Shazam.
I think a Mark Russell Shazam would be really good too.
That would
after reading his Flintstones, I mean, it would be probably a little more adult, but after reading his I think he'd do a good one too.
Yeah.
Fed, you guys are awesome and have triggered my binding comic book obsession. Well, all right. Cheers to you, sir.
We got 2 Jesuses on our side.
We got a fat Jesus
and his half brother. Yeah. We're getting the multiverse of Jesuses.
Ronald, I'm currently reading Spider-Man from #1. I know. What do you mean? You know, that's perfectly fine, dude. Spider-Man, starting with issue #1, 1960s Stan Lee. I'm not gonna knock it. I love that shit. Don't listen to what anybody says. I absolutely love it. You're currently on book 5. Jeez. If you've read from 1 and you're already onto the Clone Saga, sir, you have read a lot of fucking Spider-Man. I'm currently on book 5 of the Clone Saga, approximately 400 issues of ASM. What are your thoughts on the event? No spoilers. Awesome job. I love the Clone Saga. I think that it drags on a little longer than it probably needed to be fair. Yes, but it was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed the story. I really loved what they were doing with it. I love the Clone Saga. And people can't say like, oh, well, you haven't read it recently. You just have fond memories of when you were a kid. Because that's what I thought was going to happen. But I have read it recently. I've read it within like the last 2 years, and I enjoyed the shit out of it. Like,
yeah.
Let me tell you.
I mean, here's the thing: is like any of these huge epics. Again, I'm going to mention it because I've been reading it, like Nightfall or the Clone Saga, which was a huge epic. I mean, there was a ton of issues. I can understand, like reading death metal now, for example, while I'm enjoying it on a weekly basis, it's kind of rough to have to wait a week to find out what happens next, to a point where you can be like, well, okay, you know, the Batman Hatton, whatever it's called, who laughs. It's like, well, what the hell's going on here? This is kind of stupid. Why would they do this? But then as you read more, you're like, oh, this is really cool. They're paying homage to all these different stories. And I feel like that's what happened probably with Clone Saga as it was coming out. People just didn't like it because it was different and it was a change. Same thing with Superior Spider-Man. People hated it, and now it's one of the most revered runs of all time. It's a change. Like you're changing something huge in the story. Like same thing with Nightfall. You're getting rid of Bruce. It's like, what are you guys doing? But when you read it all at once and you know that things are going to get back to the status quo, you're like, this was a lot of fun. I had a good time.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, no, I really I enjoyed Nightfall too. I read Nightfall within the last probably 3 years or so, and I really enjoyed Nightfall as well. And you're rereading Nightfall as we speak.
Yeah.
And you've messaged me numerous times while you're reading, going, dude, I'm having so much fucking fun reading this.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, I know, right? A lot of people bash Nightfall too.
Death of Superman, same thing. A great read, a great time. All the Supermen seeing Superboy steal. What a great time. So much fun.
Pre-ordered that Usagi, son.
Get 'em.
Ryan P. Mike, are you as baked as I am watching the show right now?
I'm feeling good.
Look at his face. He goes,
As my eyes are barely open. Yeah, I'm having a good time.
That's why the fucker can't read earlier. He wasn't. It was because he didn't have glasses. He was baked. He can't fucking open his eyeballs.
Hey, man. Yeah, yeah.
Do you think they'll reprint all of the Usagi Yojimbo volumes?
Probably.
I mean, if they're doing one, I would assume they're probably going to reprint them all.
It seems like a cash cow for them if they're doing full leather.
I agree. Chris, hey guys, just joining. Hope everyone is well.
Just now, Chris? How dare you, sir?
Chris, I know. Where have you been? Slacker. Granted, he did send that over a half an hour ago. So he's been watching for a little while now. He has notifications turned on, but he never gets anything.
They don't work, man. They don't.
He has us blocked.
He's like, I never want notifications from these guys, not even by accident.
Mail me some of that food. Dude, if I could mail you some fresh pad thai, I would be all about it. I'm so excited.
You know, I heard actually from Bobby Lee on a podcast that you can literally order food from other states now in the US. Yeah. Yeah.
How?
And they'll fly it to you. It's expensive.
Is it like frozen?
No, like you can order from a restaurant and they will ship it. They will ship it to you, basically.
Okay. So there's a pizza joint in Chicago. I love Chicago deep dish style pizza. Sorry, all you East Coasters. I know you guys like that New York style, but I love deep dish Chicago style pizza, right? Have you ever had deep dish Chicago style pizza?
Never.
It's literally like eating a slice of fucking pie.
I know.
It's so good. So it's very probably unhealthy too, but my favorite pizza is pepperoni and cream cheese. All right.
Interesting.
It is so good. It's like my all-time. Anybody that are like, I've never had it, I make them try it and they go, okay, you're not lying. That's some good shit. And I'm like, I know, right? So there's a place in Chicago called Giordano's, and they have and I got deep dish cream cheese pepperoni pizza, and it's amazing. And apparently they will send you frozen pizzas. Like you can order them online and they will fucking mail you frozen pizzas that once you get, you can then pop them into your freezer or pop them into your oven and bake your own fucking Giordano's pizza. But apparently it is kind of pricey. You got to buy quite a few to really kind of make it worth it.
Right.
So I was wondering if it was kind of the same thing, but now I just want to fucking order me some Giordano's pizza because I haven't had it in like 5 years.
I mean, listen, you're home alone tomorrow, you know, no one has to know.
Yeah. Hey, can you guys like get me can the Flash deliver my Giordano's frozen pizza?
That's literally what would happen if they created superhumans. They'd be like, yeah, let's make the Flash a delivery boy. That's what would happen in our world.
Yeah, that'd be all right. I'll tip him well. IST has had 3 of my last 4 orders unshipped for over 3 weeks. Yeah, damn. Man, they've come out publicly and they've said that they're very understaffed and they're very overwhelmed with everything. And so, I mean, I think you just gotta bear with them. I haven't ordered anything in a long time, and I honestly don't plan to. Not because of IST, just again, I'm not really buying anything official anymore. I've got so much shit to bind and so much things to sort through that I'm not planning on purchasing anything.
Yeah. It feels nice to disconnect from that.
It does. Game. I've been trying to disconnect from a lot of things lately, and you're right, dude. Like I feel so much stress, like less stress.
Yeah, dude.
Like this is nice. I think I get why people do this. I think they just run out of everything very fast.
Yeah, I mean, they probably have less people working because of the COVID thing too. Yep. Like, yeah.
Do you all ever think twice about a custom if you have a rare trade paperback? Fuck no, because it's got custom. See, like I know that there's like rare trade paperbacks, and there's like for instance, I was actually just looking again to see if I could find a good deal on John Byrne's Man of Steel trade paperbacks, and there's like for sure 1, maybe 2 volumes that are out of print and they go for quite a bit more. But I was like, if I can find a good deal on them, though, I'm ripping those covers off and I'm binding the shit. Like, I don't care. They're getting bound. If anything, you're making them, in my opinion, and then I'll let Mike go. But in my opinion, you're making them better. You're increasing the value of them, in my opinion.
Agreed. 100%. Truthfully, like I've sold custom binds in the past, and you can make like people will buy them for, if it's something that hasn't been collected in particular, people will pay a good amount of money for it because it's it's a hardcover at the end of the day.
Yep.
And they care about the fact that it is a rare trade paperback. Whatever, they wanted that trade paperback for a reason. And the fact that it's in a hardcover that is gonna, again, preserve it for a longer period of it's easier to read. Trade paperbacks are great, but man, to hold that bad boy open until you've read it, you're getting like your hands, after a certain period of time, your hands get sweaty. You're starting to mark up the pages a little bit. They're getting a little weight. I mean, personally, and maybe it's just me, probably is just me, but likewise with the chlamydia I had. But I mean, it happens. It happens. Sometimes I'll be reading something, I'm like, my palms are getting kind of sweaty. My thumb is kind of starting to leave an imprint on this. Anyone buying my books, don't worry, it's not noticeable. I'm just kidding.
He's calling himself out now.
But with a custom bind, I just pop that bad boy, and like from the first page, I don't have to touch it unless I'm flipping a page. It's the best ever. And show that if you're ever gonna have a custom with rare trade paperbacks, just show how good the binding is. People, that's worth so much money.
Yep, true. I skipped all of that and jumped right into Berserk.
You spoiled yourself.
I haven't read any Berserk.
I know you're not a manga fan, but Berserk is, aside from the fact that you read it backwards, that's it. That's the only sort of manga. There's no like sort of hentai nudity, girls squeezing their tits together.
I will say that the presentation, like the hardcovers that they did, look gorgeous. They look really, really good.
Helsing ones too. Very nice.
Very nice. They look very cool. I do like
deluxe, yeah.
Does anyone know the average print run on your average omnibus?
Good question.
I don't know that it's ever really been
a consistent number.
Yeah, I don't know if there's ever really been a consistent number. That honestly would probably be more of a question for like Omar. I think anybody would know. I would say probably Omar, but
it'll be like 10K at least.
I don't know, because I don't think there's ever been. I don't know. It's a good question. If anybody ever finds out or asks Omar or something, let me know, because I think that would definitely be more of an Omar question. But I'm actually in a chat room with Omar on Facebook. Maybe I'll just message him and be like, hey, see if we can get an answer.
Because like there are, whenever they do limited runs, it's usually 2,000, 3,000 copies. Mm-hmm. So I would have to think it's at least 3 times that. So like 10,000, maybe 20,000. Depends on the book too. Like, I mean, yeah, depends on the book too. Yeah.
And man, I hope when things go back to normal, the companies don't overprint books, and then as a result have a glut that does not sell. That would not be good. Well, that's when you get the big markdowns, though. That's how you can buy like the Muppet Babies omnibus for like 30. That's why you can buy currently. You can get Deadpool, the Christopher Priest Deadpool book for omnibus for fucking Deadpool Classic or whatever it was called. You can get that omnibus for $30 right now because of the fact that they overprinted them, and so sometimes it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It does seem to be a mystery. I hope they print more Peter David Hulk Volume 1. That thing was gone so fast. Or you could just be like Mike and find someone selling their custom binds of it.
Dude, I can't wait. I mean,
they're gorgeous books, man. They're really well done.
Excited. I would love to read some Hulk right now after this Batman. I would love to read some Hulk.
Would you like me to, like, we could Zoom and I can like hold up the book and like flip the pages while you're reading?
I may as well go to our friendly neighborhood website for that, I guess.
That'd be funny.
I just want to hold those in my hand.
Man, I would like to try manga for the first time. Do you have a suggestion?
So Full Metal Alchemist definitely is a good intro manga. If you're looking for something really long, check out Naruto is really good. Bleach, I heard, gets kind of shitty after a while. I have a friend who reads manga all the time, so I get insider scoops on these things. Death Note is a really good psychological book, very tactical. A lot of it's probably one of the best mangas you'll read. Same thing for Berserk, even though it's not complete. Vinland Saga is very good as well if you're into Vikings. I mean, there's a whole bunch, man. Neon Genesis, Evangelion. I don't know if I said the last word right, but I try. That's really good if you're into like Gundam kind of stuff. I mean, like huge mechs, things like that. Man, there's just so many. There's so many. One Piece is fun if you're looking for something kind of like Batman 66 kind of style, where it's kind of goofy at times, but also very serious at times. There's so many.
Well, some other suggestions that we got here was Dragon Ball Kai.
Okay.
Someone else suggested Dragon Ball, Lone Wolf and Cub, and Astro Boy. If you are familiar with the anime Dragon Ball, it will be great. Lone Wolf and Astro Boy are older but classics.
Yeah, check. Yeah, Lone Wolf and Cub, definitely great. Highly recommend that. Well, shit, I just had one on my brain and I forgot it. I was thinking about Astro Boy. Damn it, never mind. Forget about me.
They did say Lone Wolf and Astro Boy can be a bit of a chore to get a hold of now.
Akira, that's what I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah. Didn't that one get a big box set not that long ago?
I had that box set. Yeah. Very beautiful box set. I sold it for a bundle. But that was a very nice box set. Very well done.
No, they're not evergreen, although I have heard rumblings about a potential hardcover deluxe edition, but nothing official. Hardcovers for Lone Wolf, I mean.
Okay.
Well, I've bought all the hardcovers so far, but I've yet to read them. I did see the anime from the late 90s and highly enjoyed it. I can't wait to read the manga.
Oh, one more manga I'll recommend. JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Fantastic. They did hardcovers for those as well. I had those. Also sold those for a bundle. Let me tell you, if you're trying to make money off of your hardcovers, manga is a great investment because those, once they're out of stock or out of print, wow. I mean, people pay serious cake for that. It's wild.
Did you sell your JoJo books?
I did.
You did, yeah.
I did. They were great.
I donate books to my cousin's library. He has 3 kids, and I hope that if they around, they will eventually grab one and get what it's all about. Yeah, I can't even get my kids to pick up a book. One of the best horror books I've read is, you're better with this. How do you say that?
Fialkov's
Eisner-nominated Echoes, not the Terry Moore Echoes.
Interesting. Good to know. Check that out. We'll definitely make a video on it. Thank you, and we'll give you no credit, Chris.
I find it funny how you're trying to get your kids into comics. My parents thought they were a waste of time. They hoped I would grow out of them. I am 45 now and still into comics. I'm an eclectic. I love a lot of different things. Like I love like nerd culture shit. Like I love Star Wars. I love comic books, but I also love football. And I'm a big Baltimore Ravens fan, and I love UFC. I'm a huge UFC, like MMA in general. I love MMA.
For decades. He's been there from the start.
Yes, I've been watching UFC since I was like a kid, getting pay-per-views at my buddy's house. I've seen every UFC pay-per-view ever. Like I'm a big MMA fan, and so I'm an eclectic. I like all these different things, and I can't get my kid. My kid doesn't like my 12-year-old. Obviously, he's the one I'm kind of focusing on now because he's getting to that age, right? He doesn't like football. My daughter doesn't like football. Neither one of them will really watch the fights with me either. I'll invite them. I'm like, hey, come watch the fights with your dad. Yep, nope, none of them will really watch the fights. They're not really into the superhero movies like the Avengers and shit. Like, my son will watch them, but he's not like super into them unless it's like a fucking cartoon. He's just not into it. Like, I have a lot of different things that I enjoy in life, and I cannot get my kids to like any of them. Like, I'm failing. Yeah. Maybe I'm just trying too hard.
Give it time, man. Give it time. I'm having the opposite problem where my dad will oftentimes ask me about my collection. I'll be like, do you want to You want to read something? You remember this movie Watchmen we watched and both enjoyed? Do you want to read the comic and be like,
He's
no,
like, no,
I'm
no,
good.
I'm good.
I'm good. This English stuff, because he's, he immigrated from Poland. He's like, I'm not going to read a book in English. Come on. What about The Witcher Library Edition? That's based off of a Polish novel. Do you want to read that? No, I'm good. Damn it, Dad.
I started reading comics around 14, but had no shops nearby, and the closest one wouldn't let me buy stuff I was into. Only just got back into them in the last year at 25. I kind of was in that same boat. Not we had comic shops around us. It's just growing up, I didn't have money to buy stuff, so I kind of just got whatever randomly as issues popped up on the supermarket shelves. But
yeah. Tid, if you're still watching this as we answer this, what do you mean by they wouldn't let you buy the stuff you were into? Like you weren't old enough, maybe it was like an 18 plus book, like Image kind of
that's
stuff.
how I took it.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, that's how I took it. He was trying to buy fucking Crossed, and they were like, no. Great point, but comics are the best modern sci-fi, said by a guy that doesn't read real books. Shane D, have you guys ever bound magazine size? Is it possible? Looking to bind some heavy metal issues. Go ahead, you're shaking your head.
I mean, I haven't bound them yet, but I know it's definitely possible. I am binding the magazine size Black Label books. I'm going to have 2 anthologies that I'm very excited about. It's definitely possible. If Thomas Judge can make the books he makes, anything is possible.
Yeah.
You can find whatever you dream of.
Yeah, basically. No, I haven't done it myself either. However, I have seen the heavy metal books bound previously. There was somebody selling a shit ton of them a while back on eBay. So it's definitely possible. It's been done. So it is most definitely possible. You might have to find the right bindery. I don't know if all binderies will do it, but in the grand scheme of things, yes, it is definitely something that can happen.
And it might be a little pricier because it's a larger size, but
yeah. Someone I know who is in his early 50s who collects comics, his father always bashes him for it and always asks him, do you still collect those rags? There always seemed to be a negativity towards.
Maybe I think, did he comment next? It might be a continuation.
Towards comics that is completely unfounded.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, growing up, it was like a nerdy thing to do. Even now, it's one of those things where I tell people I don't really care now, but like there's still a thing where they're like, really, comics? I'm like, just read one. Read one. It's not what you think. Read Animal Man. There's so much to it.
Yep. I think my wife kind of looks at me like that at times. I'm like, oh, I'm reading, like she could give a fuck. Like she's very supportive. She doesn't like make fun of me or anything, but she does not get it. It's not her thing at all. And yeah, I think she's kind of one of those like, it's whatever. I started collecting comics in 1979 at 10 years old, and as an adult, my grandmother was always asking, where are your comics? She was worried they would get thrown out. She got it. She ruled. That was kind of like my mom. My mom was very supportive like that too. She was always trying to like get involved in things. So I definitely owe that. My mom kept all of like so back in the late like early 90s, like early to mid 90s, Marvel trading cards was like the big thing. The Marvel Universe trading cards, right? They were like the thing to do. Right. And I collected all the different series, all the different sets, everything. My mom used to like sit there and like sort them with me and like checklist and check mark things, and then I would get like the price guides because I was always curious to see what my shit was worth. My mom would always help me like price check things, and like that was pretty cool. I will say that, but she was very supportive in that regard. That is very cool. Yes. Oh yeah, I watched the Invisible Man remake Tuesday night, and it scared the crap out of me. And movies don't scare me unless it's a documentary on mankind. That Invisible Man remake, dude. I mean, I guess no spoilers. I don't want to ruin anything for anybody that hasn't seen it, but I think the reason why it was scary is because it's plausible, I guess. So like the original Invisible Man movie, like you drink a potion, fucking turn invisible, whatever. This one is more, it's practical. Like it's plausible. Like this could fucking happen, I guess, in a weird, fucked up way. So I think that's why it's probably so scary. Have you seen the Invisible Man reboot? let's just say this, and it's not spoiling anything because they fucking show it in the movie. It's based on, instead of like science instead of like wizardry with like potions and shit, it's based on tech. It's based on technology.
Yeah. That's not far off, I'm sure.
Yeah. Cromartie High School is a brilliant, stupid, fun anime. I've never heard of that one.
Me neither.
Not that I know much about fucking anime, but I've never heard of that one. Does anybody else hate in-stock trade search engine? At times.
Yeah.
At times. I do like cheap graphic novels because if it's like, it'll pull up, even if it's out of stock, it'll fucking pull up and it'll say out of stock. Whereas if IST it's out of stock, it just doesn't pull back anything. And then you're like, okay, well, what does that mean?
Yeah. I think most people hate the search engine because it shows them that things are out of stock.
Yeah.
And they want the hope that it'll eventually be back in and they can
cheap graphic novel also sells stuff for over, like if they do get it back in and it's out of print, they sell it for over cover. Whereas IST will never do that.
Because they have integrity.
Stefanos Markovich. Who is Joe?
Joe Gatto?
Joe Mama?
Joe Mama.
Joe Armstrong?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Who is Joe?
And
then he followed it up with Read Monstrous.
Okay. Interesting.
I've heard Monstrous is pretty good. I haven't read it yet, but I have heard positive things about it.
Yeah, likewise.
I hate CG and search engine. No need to pull up books that would have to print. That's great. We just said that. That's funny. Yeah, those manga creators put in work. I suggested to someone a while back that ISTCGN should include how many copies they have left in stock, like Amazon does, but was told that would not be good. I never received a reason, though. Probably because then it's going to create the, what do they call it? Fear or panic at the Omni Disco or whatever the hell, that subgroup that, yeah, it's
the thing.
Yeah, it's just people create fucking fear, and then they have FOMO, and then they're buying shit that's gonna remain wrapped for 5 years and they're never gonna read, and
speculators.
Yeah,
it's gross.
I can't find Ben Riley Omnis on in-stock trades. That would mean that they're out of print, or not out of print, sorry. That would mean that they're out of stock. That would mean that IST does not have them in stock at all. I miss DC. Yes, DC, He-Man, and the Masters of the Universe. I hope they start a new volume again. I got the omnibus, but I want more. Willie, I am with you 110%. I have a bunch of Motu stuff. I'm a big Masters of the Universe fan. Love Masters of the Universe. Yes, there's Kevin Smith is doing executive producing that new Netflix Motu series. It's going to be coming out in 2021. So hopefully that might kind of spark some interest in creating some new comics. DC did recently just do a mini Masters of the Multiverse. That one was fun. I had a good time. I think if I remember correct, Tim Seeley wrote it, and some people were bashing the shit, but I had fun. It was just having fun with the franchise. It wasn't meant to be taken seriously. It was just a fun little 6-issue mini to have fun with the franchise, and I had a blast with it. Oh, here you go, Mike. I'm thinking of getting East to West. I love Lazarus, but complex dystopian world building books for me have to come with major recommendations.
East of West definitely gets my stamp of confidence. I love East of West. Speaking of complex world building, anything by Simon Spurrier is usually complex world building, but so good. I mean, you'll read something like Godshaper, and for the first issue, you're like, what is going on? They're using all these terms I've never heard. I know I'm out of youth slang, but there's no way
felt that way.
Yeah. And then after 2 issues, you're like, okay, this all makes sense. He's made up a language, and I get it now. After 2 issues, somehow this man has made me understand what is going on with words I've never used before. Which is like, it's insane. It's insane. But yeah, East of West, highly recommended. Yeah.
Yep. Holy crap, yes.
I love the hype.
It's so freaking good. I'm assuming he's also referring to East of West. IST no longer has either Ben Riley volumes. Sold out very quick a few weeks back. When I search for Omnibus, I don't want the search engine to list everything. Oh, I see what you're saying. You just want it to like pull back what you actually search for rather than things that sound similar to the title. For IST, I went nuts finding Batman by King Deluxe 4. I figured it was sold out at IST, but for Volume 4, they switched the spelling of DLX to Deluxe, but just on Volume 4 to hide it from me. I'm custom binding those. I got 4 or 5 issues that hopefully I can track down tomorrow at a local shop, and then I will have them all, and then I'm going to prep them, and then I'm going to send them in, and they're going to get custom bound, and they're going to be gorgeous, and I cannot wait. I hope they do a death metal omnibus. I think a lot of people are hoping for that.
Yeah, I think Snyder had said like 2 years ago that there was going
to be he did, and nothing ever fucking came of it.
Wow. I would hope so.
You really have to read these stories to determine for yourself. So many supposedly bad stories I have loved, and a number of awesome stories have bored me to death, and I could not get into. I am with you 110%, and man, 110. Are you guys hyped for Remender's The Scumbag series? I'm looking forward to it, faux show.
Yep, waiting for the absolute size hardcover for it, which I'm sure will come eventually.
I hope they do a metal omnibus soon. Yeah, I remember Snyder came out a couple years ago and said that they were doing one, and then nothing ever happened with it. So they're doing Injustice. Why not do metal?
Yeah.
Hot cream cheese, dude, don't knock it till you try it, son. You got that, you start munching on it, that cream cheese, like you get like a big like pocket full of cream cheese and shit just bursts in your mouth, and it's like, it's orgasmic.
Yeah,
it's a fucking orgasm in your mouth.
There you go, literally.
Pepperoni and cream cheese sounds very weird. Again, do not knock it till you try it. I'm fucking telling you right now, it is by far, like, I've had plenty of people tell me this in the past, and then I say try it, and then they do, and they go, holy shit, that is really good. And I go, I know, right? So just, you got to try it. I've had cream cheesecake. Yeah. No, I don't like cream. I don't like cheesecake. I'm not a cheesecake fan.
You're all over the place.
I know, which is fucking weird that I don't like cheesecake because I love cream cheese. So you would think I would like cheesecake, but I do not like cheesecake. I've ordered from Katz's Deli in New York City. After a few J's, the pastrami sandwich hits the spot.
J's? What kind of weed are you guys smoking in the NYC? God damn. I'm done after half of one.
Indeed, I have read quite a bit of ASM. I own JMS to current Spencer and Trade paperbacks. Absolutely loved McFarlane Spidey. I was literally punching the air from the awesomeness of some of his panels.
There you go.
I was actually just commenting about this earlier in our hardcover comic chat room. I said I'm weird, man. I am torn when it comes to McFarlane's art on Spider-Man. So he obviously reinvented the way, and set the standard for the way that the webbing is drawn, right? Before it was just straight lines that looked like a fucking rope. Yeah. He comes in and he draws like these like crazy like line or like strings that like wrap around it, and it actually made it look like webbing. And it was awesome. He set the fucking gold standard for drawing Spider-Man webbing, and I will always love him for that. No doubt about it. And overall, his Spider-Man, like as the character, was always drawn, really well too. But aside from that, I feel like his everyday characters, his like Mary Janes and his, things like that, and just like the people that, Peter and Spider-Man interact with, I don't know. The way he draws them just kind of throws me for a loop. I'm not a big fan of the way that he draws some of them. If you look at what he did in Spawn and you look at how he draws people in Spawn, and then you look at how he drew people in Spider-Man, it's literally like he's drawing the same fucking characters. And it just throws me for a loop, I guess, because it's just, and I guess it's the same person drawing. Of course, they're going to seem similar, but it almost felt like he was literally drawing the same fucking people in both books. And it just, I don't know, kind of throws me for a loop. But he did set the gold fucking standard for webbing. No doubt about that. That is he did do that. And I will always love Todd McFarlane for that, because he made the webbing cool. Knees weak, mom spaghetti, palm sweaty. Yeah, you're stoned. He's not even paying attention. Are they going to ever do a McFarlane Spider-Man 2 printing omnibus? Well, they did the McFarlane Michelini one, and then they did the McFarlane solo stuff. I don't know if there's any more the McFarlane did, is there? Because there's the McFarlane Michelini omnibus, and then there's the McFarlane solo omnibus. I don't know. Did he do more? I don't think he did any more Spider-Man after that. I think then he left and started doing Image.
Yeah, that's right.
I think the McFarlane run will be upcoming in a complete collection. I could see him doing that. I definitely could see them throwing all of his stuff in a complete collection run. I have the Man of Steel trades, volumes 1 to 5, and then 9. And now that I will be getting the hardcovers, I will be getting rid of them 1 to 5 anyways. Who knows if DC will continue the hardcovers? Greg, I'm gonna do a little bit of research, but I may have to hit you up if you do part ways with those. I'll have to do a little bit of research, but I may hit you up. I'd like to find a group where I can get 1 through 9, obviously, but that's easier said than done. I think February, March for the complete collection.
There you go.
That'd be cool. Sam, what is up, my man? About to start a long-term Batman bind project and can find a little over 100 issues in the 400 to 500 range for $250. I should get that right. I'm trying to talk myself into it. I'm torn. Does that include shipping? Here's the thing. I've been able to come up with stuff like through eBay and things like that as well. And the rule of thumb, especially when you're doing binds, is that you really don't want to pay more than $2 an issue. That's sort of, and even then I try to pay even less. I personally, when I'm buying bulk like that, I try to buy at like $1 an issue. It's kind of my goal. $1.25 an issue. That's sort of my goal. It doesn't always happen, and that's fine. But the general rule of thumb is you don't want to pay more than $2 an issue, especially on older titles like that, unless it's like a key issue, you know?
Yeah.
So if that includes shipping, I would say it's probably a pretty good deal because that would probably equal right around $2 an issue. But if it's like $250 plus like $50 shipping, because, you know, 100 comics, they're going to have to ship it like in a short box or something. Then I don't know if I would pull the trigger on that. But if it includes shipping, then I think that would be that's probably a pretty fair deal in that case. Do you ever buy old books, or do you just bind the stuff that you get as you're collecting?
Yeah, usually as I'm collecting. Honestly, at this point, I haven't been able to find good lots in Canada, and with shipping prices from the US, it
just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's a shame.
You got to steal on those Hulks though.
Oh yeah.
No, you definitely got to steal on those Hulks. Jeff hooked it up.
That's a gem. Yeah.
Let's see. Blade of the Immortal is better than Berserk.
Shots fired. I'm sure we're going to see some responses to that.
The Spider-Man by Todd McFarlane, the complete collection paperback, March 9th, 2021. There we go. One positive is that Blade of the Immortal is completed and Berserk is not.
Good point.
Too bad that did not get reprinted. Maybe if the complete collections go well. Paris. I just finished Black Science after I saw a couple of your videos talking about it. I really enjoyed it.
Well, glad you did.
I'm now looking for some new books to read. Any recommendations? Was thinking about getting Black Hammer or Descender. Whoo! Both are amazing.
Yeah, either way you're fine.
You're gonna do just fine either way.
Do you want superheroes or sci-fi? That's really the only difference. Either way, the quality is the same.
Yep. And by superheroes, we don't mean like the Justice League either. We're talking about superheroes with issues.
Yeah,
like,
superheroes with a twist. Yeah,
superheroes with a twist. These aren't like, you know, Superman, fucking JLA type superheroes. These are the nitty gritty world of superheroes.
Very close. Although they're not parodies, but they're
like powers and things, yes, but like personalities and like what happens within their worlds are
vastly different. Yeah,
vastly different. Yes, it's definitely meant for an older crowd.
Yeah.
Greg, as for people who think I'm wasting my money on comics, it's better than spending money on a drive-through stripper.
I'm glad I informed a lot of people about the drive-through strip clubs tonight.
Oh, here we go. Southern Comic Geek hitting us up. What do you think of the news of the Harbinger being rebooted?
You heard it.
Yeah, we kind of touched base on it a little bit earlier, so you probably missed it. But I don't think I'm a fan because from what I understand, it's the Acclaim. It's the 90s Acclaim version of Harbinger. It's not even the Peter Stanchek from, the 2012 reboot. It's from the Acclaim universe. And honestly, I'm not a fan of Robbie Rodriguez's art. From what I've seen, I can't get into it. I don't really like the art.
I'm just surprised that Valiant once again made the exact same mistake.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
The Invisible Man remake was surprisingly good. I want a sequel. You could probably pull it off. No spoilers, but you could probably figure out a way to pull that off. Adam, the IST, I hate IST customer service. They don't reply. IST has posted in several chat rooms and things. The reason why they can't reply is because they get thousands. Like they said that they've been getting lately thousands of emails a day because people keep emailing them, and they have 2 people that work their email queue, and so it is almost impossible for them to get caught up because people keep emailing. So they've actually asked that people not email them so that they can actually get back and try to clear out the queue as best they can. And they recognize that maybe they should hire more people to help out with the queue, but again, with the COVID world right now, it's not always easy just to go hire somebody, money wise and things like that. It has to kind of make sense. So, Carlos, I want to gift my goddaughter an empowering manga comic to show how badass girls are. I was thinking about Nausicaa. I'm not familiar with that one. Are there any other you guys would recommend, manga or comic?
Nausicaa's good. I mean, you can't go wrong with anything Supergirl, Batgirl.
Yeah, Batgirl for sure would be my recommendation.
Yeah, Batgirl especially. I mean, there's the Stephanie Brown stuff with Brian Q. Miller. There's the Kelly Puckett stuff with Cassandra Cain. You can even go further back with obviously Barbara Gordon.
I would also say you want a badass female. I don't know how old obviously your goddaughter is. I would say if she's old enough to be able to read these and you want a badass female book, Lazarus. Yeah. Wow. You want to talk about a badass female. If she's not quite old enough for Lazarus, I would also highly recommend Brian Azzarello's run on Wonder Woman.
That's what I was thinking too. Yep.
That's a fantastic run.
Can't go wrong with that.
It's really fun, dives really deep into Greek mythology and stuff, which is also really fun, but really showcases Diana as this badass.
Paul Dini's Zatanna is pretty good as well.
Yes, I just actually read that within the last week or a couple weeks.
The ending was rushed for sure.
Well, the problem is he didn't even write the last fucking issue.
Yeah.
It was weird. He didn't get to tell the story he wanted to tell. But from what you do get, it was good. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, and really anything with Zatanna. I mean, Justice League Dark, she plays a minor role, but she's a badass in that too. I mean, yeah, those are some pretty solid recommendations there.
Peter David's Supergirl run was pretty good. From what I haven't read the whole thing, but from what I have read, that one was pretty good.
Yeah, there's a lot of good Wonder Woman out there. I mean, Gail Simone, Brian Azzarello. Really, most Wonder Woman is pretty good for empowering females, I would say, except for the early '60s stuff where she's getting tangled up and.
Yeah, you don't want that. But if she is old enough, though, I highly suggest Lazarus.
Yeah.
And if she's a way older, and by this I mean an adult, and likes horror, Hack Slash is another pretty good one. Cassie Hack is a badass in that one.
You know what's also pretty good is Faith.
That's a good all ages one. Yeah, no, it's a really good all ages one. Faith by Valiant and Valiant Comics.
Yes, Faith is fantastic. I mean, Dr. Mirage as well.
Mirage is good. I think Faith is a little more
It's all ages.
relatable for it's definitely all ages, and it's definitely all about empowerment. And Faith, if you're not familiar with her, she is not your typical superhero. She's a plus size superhero and doesn't give a fuck, and she's a nerd too. Like, she kind of nerds out. It's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend Faith.
Yeah,
that's a good question. It's not a waste of money when you can resell them. That is also kind of true. Ben Riley is out of print. Yes, Tim Seeley wrote the Motu run, and Unhook Lee did the covers. Dude, I love that run. A lot of people were kind of making fun of it. A lot of Motu fans were bummed about it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. He was just having fun with the franchise. He got back to us about the guy that wouldn't sell him shit. The guy at my local shop was just old and grumpy. If I wanted to buy anything other than some vanilla detective or action titles, I would have to travel to the city, which put me... So he wouldn't sell you like Green Lantern or something. He'd be like, no.
I refuse to sell you this book.
I don't want to make money.
Let's build a wall. Yeah.
The Slaughterhouse 5 graphic novel may be better than the original. What subject matter are you into? The Black Hammer Volume 1 is holding up IST order, I think. I just got Harleen. Harleen was a good one, too.
Yeah. I mean, Catwoman also for women is a... I mean, there's so many great runs on Catwoman.
Yeah, Brubaker had,
The recent Joel Jones one was good.
Really, if you want empowering females, anything by Greg Rucka.
Yeah.
Greg Rucka writes a really great empowering female, and pretty much on any book that he touches, he does really good. So yeah, I would say really anything by Greg Rucka too. Who did Lazarus, by the way. Being in my emo edgy phase at the time, I just wasn't into it. He's like, nah, man, give me Umbrella Academy.
Like, Umbrella Academy, what do you want that for? Some My Chemical Romance bullshit?
I'm in Australia, so comic shops aren't as popular.
Enough,
IST is like that reliable worker. They never slip up, and when they do, they're destroyed for it. Meanwhile, if a bad lazy worker slips up, management just says, well, he's lazy, so what? Fair enough. Cy Spurrier's Hellblazer is so good. So pissed that DC canceled this run.
Dude, the last issue that came out, issue number 10. Wow. One of the best John Constantine issues ever.
Wowza.
Ever. It's big praise.
Conrad, my dad briefly worked a job putting comics out in the grocery stores in the late 70s. If it didn't sell, he could remove the cover for credit and keep the rest and bring it home to me to read. Hell yeah. That'd be awesome. I've been meaning to check that out. Honestly, I've heard good things about both. Might just jump into the Jeff Lemire world and get both. You're not going to go wrong. I promise you that.
Jeff Lemire does not disappoint.
Cannot wait for Gideon Falls. Woohoo! And Family Tree to get hardcovers as well.
Hopefully. I imagine they will.
How much is Batman 427 worth?
Can't help you there. So.
I don't know, man. I don't dabble. The only time I dabble in single issues is if I'm going to rip off the covers and bind them. That's really the only time I dabble in those. Jumping into the lore of any well-known comic I've found to nearly always be a ridiculous feat. Yeah.
If you're jumping into anything at this point in the big two, you have to have that open mind where it's like, I'm going to have to potentially go backwards and read something. But the problem is they don't have those nice little editor notes anymore where it says, hey, if you want to know what they're talking about in this conversation, read issue number whatever from this series. They don't do that anymore. It's gone.
Mm-hmm. Who has Amazing Spider-Man 300? I do, in a custom bind. No, not the original. It is actually a reprint. He would never have done that. It was actually a reprint. But no, I do have it in a custom bind. Thoughts on Superman Exile?
I think we did a video on it.
Yep.
I would check that out if I were you. I enjoyed it. A lot of fun. Right after, I think that was Return of Superman.
That was Jerry Ordway too, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, a lot of fun. Superman in space.
Hello, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you, man. Hope you're doing well. Meshuggah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Great band.
Yeah. Jarrett Tyree, I'm gonna say it. Doomsday Clock is better than Watchmen.
Bold.
That's a very bold statement. Very bold. Next thing you know, he's going to come out and say Rorschach is better than Doomsday Clock.
Yeah, whoever that guy is that hates, we have that guy who he's commented on that Doomsday Clock video like 7 times at this point.
He just wants you to take it fucking down. You've pissed him off.
He just keeps saying, it's a disgrace to Alan Moore, like he's been hanging out with Alan Moore, who, by the way, has a pretty good
really
teaser
cool
trailer.
Movie.
Yeah, the teaser trailer for his movie, I think it's called The Room. No,
I don't remember what it's called, but he plays a fucked up clown.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Like a clown wizard.
That should be an interesting thriller. Yeah. And he's in it. He's in it. He even speaks without hopefully saying anything inappropriate.
Negative about the comic world. Both are good, but I found Watchmen to be quite the slow read. It is slower. Then it picks up only to drag that intrigue out, whereas Doomsday Clock kept my interest and investment far easier. I can understand that. Doomsday Clock wasn't as wordy.
Yeah.
Whereas anything Alan Moore writes is very wordy.
Yeah.
He builds a world and it can get very wordy, whereas John's doesn't always rely on all that exposition. So
yeah.
I cried when Hellblazer ended at 300. Now I'm just angry over this.
Can't catch a break.
Thanks for the cost analysis. Rebuying for buying. Super helpful. Didn't include shipping, by the way. Oh, well, depending on how much shipping is. I mean, maybe they're like, hey, free shipping. But if they're going to charge like another like $50 or something like that for shipping, I don't know, man. I'd be careful. I'm just saying that was kind of the golden rule of thumb that myself and a lot of other binders follow. Is just that older issues like that, we try not to do more than $2 an issue. And if you have patience and you hold out, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be able to find it or really close within that deal.
Yeah.
Yes. You could honestly skip the first 6 issues of Doomsday Clock, which is much slower than Watchmen. The second half is when things actually picked up.
I love the whole thing.
I've noticed I'm buying less and less DC and Marvel and way more Dark Horse and Image. Quality just seems quality doesn't seem better. Quality is better.
Yeah.
For modern books, it's better. I still love the old school DC Marvel stuff, but for modern books, yes.
I will say also Boom Studios, in terms of single issues, they put together a very nice book. A very nice book. All the ads are in the back. They know what we binders want.
There you go. That's appreciated. If you want the trades, you can have them, but fair warning, they're well over a decade old and the pages are yellow. Trade me an omnibus that you don't want. Done. We will hook up after this. I'm pretty sure I've seen you around in the Facebook groups. Well, I'll track you down. I'll hit you up. Cream cheese on pizza's bomb. See, Andrew knows what's up.
There you go.
Thank you. Cream cheese, baby. I think they're trying to make political statements with it, so not picking it up. I have 8 long boxes of Valiant. Oh, he's talking about the Harbinger from the 90s until today, but their stuff is getting worse these days. See, and this is coming from a huge Valiant fan. Like I'm a fairly new Valiant fan. This is like an old school Valiant, and they agree. Like it's
fallen off. Yeah,
it has. It sucks.
It's a drastic drop.
They don't have the writers anymore. I mean, they still got Colin Bunn, but they're not having him do a punk mambo ongoing.
Tim Seeley is still doing Bloodshot. Dan Abnett is still doing Rise for now. We'll see how long it goes.
From what I've read of Seeley's, I like Tim Seeley, I really do. But from what I've read of his Bloodshot, I was not a big fan. I kind of quit reading it because I didn't really like it.
After Jeff Lemire, it's a tough act to follow.
Yeah, and Dwayne, however you say his name, yes, that dude. It was so much fun. I loved his Bloodshot. It was so good.
Yeah.
Doomsday Clock has a number of flaws, so the story may be good. It lost me on execution, and I just don't like mime characters. I had to buy a mime experience when young. Tell us about the mime experience. Please. I think we're all intrigued on that one now.
You can't stop there.
What are your thoughts on No Man's Land?
Love it.
I like No Man's Land a lot.
So much fun.
Rucka did a bunch of them too, didn't he? Yeah, like it's Rucka. It's fucking Rucka.
Yeah, I think Rucka was doing Detective Comics at the time. Brubaker was doing Batman at the time. So you're good. It's a good time. Yeah.
Yep. I'm actually working on No Man's Land buying. Those will probably be. I should be getting the floppies for those before the end of the year. My dealer Jeff, he actually just sent me in the mail. I'm getting the last 7 Spidey binds to fill up this hole here. They'll be here next week. I'm super fucking excited. So, and then I'm gonna focus on the Batman stuff. So I will be binding No Man's Land probably here within the next 3 or 4 months. I gave my IST formula on the Omni Facebook page. You can have 2 of the following, but not 3. Quality, good price, speed. With IST, you give up speed of service for the great price on quality items. Fair way of looking at it. Yeah. Will they ever come out with a Defenders omnibus? If I had to guess, I would say yes. I don't know when, though. But if I had to guess, honestly, I'm shocked they didn't do it when the Netflix show came out. But if I had to guess, I mean, they're putting out Cloak and Dagger, so my guess is yes, they will eventually do a Defenders. If you look on the message board and forums, most people complaining about IST seem to be complaining about the returns of books that have supposed damage. That might be slowing up shipping. Yeah. Badass Girl, get her to read Red Sonja by Gail Simone.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah.
That's a good one, too. Where I live, I have to go into the city 30 minutes in either direction, even find a comic book store. It's kind of ridiculous, but I live in that untamed land between cities known as country. Jared's a country boy. Peter David's final arc of Supergirl is great. I do recommend the Sterling Gates run as well. I think the Defenders Omnibus is early 20. Oh, there you go. 2021.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
The Omnibus is pretty thin for me, so I'll pass. I already have the Marvel Masterworks. Ryan P. I've never read Hellblazer. Would you recommend the Garth Ennis Omni? Fuck yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep, that's a good one. The nice thing about Hellblazer is that every writer did something different with him. So you don't have to read his stuff in order to understand what the hell's going on. I mean, there's obviously some kind of backstory, like when they talk about Newcastle and things like that. That maybe you might not be familiar with if you didn't read the earlier things. But that's the great thing about Hellblazer, though, is that you don't necessarily need to know a ton about him. You can just kind of pick it up and run with it, and you're good, which is one cool thing about the character. Really depends on your definition of empowering. Many people think sexualization of any kind equals not empowering, so that would rule out Catwoman and Red Sonja. There's also a comic called Empowered where the lead likes having sex, and it's really good. Glory was very good with the most recent run. It's pretty violent.
There you go. I mean, look, if we're getting into the 18 plus section here, I mean, even Saga has some very empowered females in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main character, she's, I think her name's Alana, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's right, though. Very empowered woman.
I think Low by Rick Remender might fall into the empowering female characters. Definitely for an older audience, though. Same with Death or Glory by Remender.
Glory, for sure. Yeah, and I mean, Low as well. Yeah, absolutely. Agreed.
Those solicits for future state make me glad that 5G isn't happening. 5G wasn't an inherently bad idea, but that was not the way to get to the next generation. Deceased Dead Planet is doing it honestly. Yeah, I like the Deceased stuff. That was fun. Yeah. So get your kids into comics so they can travel to the cheap rental parts of town. Go into the dark and stinky local comic shop staffed with aliens posed as humans who aren't helpful and stare at them with big eyes.
What a game plan. That's it.
Yes. I used to be a partner in a comic store, so I know this is true. Chris is the alien. The good thing about most of those issues are dollar bin books if you don't mind hunting and waiting and have access to local comic shops. That is true. A lot of those are. I find great deals all the time, though, on eBay. You just set an alert and you can find some real. Mike's been amazed at some of the deals I've come across on eBay. And whenever people say or best offer, I always shoot them an offer. And sometimes like I'll shoot them a low one, knowing it's low and fully expect for them to counter, which I'm okay with. But I'm just curious to see like where we're kind of gauging when they say or best offer. Because sometimes like you'll offer like $5 less and they're like declined. You're like, well, then fucking take off best offer. It's stupid. But then other times you'll offer like a lot less, and all of a sudden you're like totally not expecting them to accept, and then they do, and you go, oh shit. So yeah, that's kind of nice too. Justice League Beyond 2.0 was really good. Bruce being the lead of Dark Detective and thought to be dead for future state, while Luke as Batman is a bit convoluted. That was an intense statement.
I'm too high for this.
If you see my avatar that Tim Seeley drew that for me at a con last year, Tim Seeley drew that.
Seeley drew that?
That's solid, man. That's real solid. Damn. I love Tim Seeley. I love Hack Slash. I love the Motu stuff that he did. I love like that. He has a passion for these characters and shit too. I really do love Tim Seeley, but his Bloodshot just. But I do love Tim Seeley. Cream cheese and sushi slaps. Don't judge it. Just try it.
I'll agree to that. It is good.
I don't eat sushi.
Nice cream cheese with the salmon. Oh man,
I don't eat sushi.
Not good for your stomach, but.
The Avatar split a Bloodshot. Yeah, it looks amazing. We got it up on the screen. Anybody should be able to see those. Aren't we getting a No Man's Land Omni? Yes.
Road to No Man's Land.
Road to No Man's Land, and then eventually No Man's Land, provided DC doesn't screw everything up.
Yeah.
I loved Marionette and Mime. They both just seem so full of character. That's not the right word, but I love seeing them. Yes, I would agree that they were a lot of fun. I did enjoy seeing that.
They were the surprise of that series. For sure.
Honestly, Jeff Johns could write Watchmen 2 in my eyes. Man knows his stuff.
Yeah. Well.
Peter Milligan's run was my favorite, but any of the Hellblazer volumes, even Spurriers, will rock your world. I'm shocked that you think that you said Milligan's is your favorite. Excuse me. Normally, Milligan's is a little bit. I mean, I enjoyed them all. I'm with you, but normally Milligan's is kind of a little bit further down on people's lists for Hellblazer. He's normally not kind of up there, but I think part of it though is because he's very British with his writing, and I think people that are not like British or that live in the US, they kind of have a hard time reading. I think some of the stuff that Milligan writes, it did take me a while to kind of like get used to the way that. But once I got used to it, I was like, "Oh, this shit's awesome! I dig it now." But, yeah, I remember there was a time when I was kind of like having a hard time reading Milligan stuff. Rorschach #1 referencing Oklahoma as if it's a sequel to the show is pretty bizarre. That was the most no shit. Now I need to go back and read Rorschach #1.
I got to read that. Yeah.
If it's like a sequel to the show, that could be cool because we're never getting another season from the sounds of it.
I mean, it's Tom King, so
that would be good as long as it didn't take so long to release it. Lucifer Volume 2 comes out in November, but it's not on Tales of Wonder IST. But it does exist. Somebody had sneak previews of it. It does exist. They're not canceling it. The book is real. It's out there. I forgot if you said your Spidey custom binds contain Spectacular as well. Some of the Spectacular issues could have helped in the Omni, like when Black Cat was injured battling Doc Ock. Yes, Jeff is the one that kind of put all these together, and he definitely threw in. It's very comprehensive. It's not just ASM. It's ASM. It's Spectacular. It's like web of like he really went deep and. As far as like the reading goes, so yes, it does have not like every issue obviously, but if it's like a tie-in issue, he did include it. Jeff Johns does know stuff. Doomsday Clock wasn't bad. Thoughts on 3 Jokers? I haven't been keeping up. I've honestly been waiting for it to wrap up, and then I'm just gonna binge it, so I can't say.
Yeah, me too. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just want to binge it. I don't like waiting. I don't have the patience. I was referring to the Stern Omni. More Spectacular issues would have helped clear up so many storylines. I'm actually reading the Stern stuff right now. I just started. I wrapped up volume 1 of my Spidey read, and it ended with like the first 3 issues of the Stern run. So it's like right when he meets Black Cat, and she's like, "Oh, I'll quit being a professional burglar just for you, Spider-Man." And of course, Pete's like, "Oh, really? Okay." And then obviously she doesn't, and he gets his heart broken. And she was gonna get amnesty, and it wasn't given. And he threw the papers because he's like, "No, she didn't mean it." So
trying to get her green card.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff though. I do wish that Jeff Johns wasn't demoted and that Doomsday Clock would be the future of DC like it was supposed to, compared to Death Metal, along with the Bendis Superman run.
Yeah.
Mike's really stoned. We're gonna wrap up.
Did he get demoted? I don't know. I feel like he's been just getting promoted this whole time to just crazier and crazier positions that prevent him from writing good comics.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up these comments. We've been going damn near 3 hours. I think this is the longest live stream we've ever done.
Yeah, and we're not getting that Spotify money like Joe Rogan. So
yeah, so we're gonna wrap up. We're almost done with the comments. We're gonna wrap up comments and then call it a night. It's like past 1 a.m. where Mike's at, and he's falling asleep. He's so stoned he's falling asleep. I like the design for Future State Batman. Looks like a tactical military vest kind of thing. Not quite vibing with Luke Fox's Black Panther suit though.
It ain't gonna last, so we're all good.
Yeah, just minis. 3 Jokers clearly was changed because the original 3 Jokers shown from Rebirth were the Golden Age, Killing Joke, and Snyder's Joker. Snyder's Joker has not appeared yet. The art is great, not the story. Ouch. Well, I'll wait till it's done, and then I will for sure go back and read those. Red X, yes, he is debuting Future State 2. Yeah, it's the first appearance in the comics of Red X, actually. Right. First time he's ever. My son's gonna. You remember when Riker was fucking teasing us about Red X at the Comic-Con?
Yeah.
We thought he was fucking with us.
Now it's gonna have an impact.
Yeah, that little shit. Because my son watched the shows, and so he was like quizzing us on these characters, and he's talking about Red X. I'm like, who the fuck is Red X? We didn't watch the cartoon, and so we thought my kid was making it up. And I'm like, there's no such character as Red X. Shut up, you're just making
Omega Red.
We're like, what are you talking about? And then we actually had to Google it on the way back to the hotel and find out that my kid was really telling us the truth. He'll get a kick out of this when I tell him that the comic's coming out. I love Giuseppe on Hellblazer with Milligan. Okay, I'm going to watch John Carpenter's The Thing. Have a great night. I'll see you all next time. I just watched John Carpenter's They Live. And then I started to watch Escape from New York, and then I got tired and went to bed.
Yeah.
Is it just a reference about the Rorschach costume being popular even after what happened in Oklahoma? That's it, but there's nothing about Dr. Manhattan at this point. Where can I order a THC tea? Maybe it's the beer, but I need some of that swag. Shoot us an email. So that's actually supposed to be green. It looks blue on his for some reason. We're not sure why.
I have no idea why.
But if you go to email us at thehardcovercomic@gmail.com, I will hook you up. We got a few different designs. We have that one. Then we have like the Punisher 2099 logo as well that we got. Yeah, Mike's got on our coffee mug. So it's that logo, which I can do like on a black shirt, or I have a black hoodie actually with that logo. And then I've also got it in white where the logo is white instead of red. And I have that like on like a navy blue tee with like the white logo. It looks really sick. Very too.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a few different logos, so let us know. Okay, I was gonna say your Spider-Man binds have multiple series included. I can barely keep up with the stories of Batman and Detective at the same. Yeah, and my Batman binds also have Batman and Detective, both. Like it's a very comprehensive bind. So it's not just, that's why they're called like the Batman Chronicles and the Spider-Man Chronicles is how he named them, because they actually have everything. So it goes back and forth between Batman and Detective, not like flip flop. It just depends on how the story flows, but it has the Batman and Detective issues both. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely a unique way of reading that I never got to read when I was a kid. So I'm fucking loving it. It's so much fun.
It must be, yeah, I imagine.
But there we go. We hit the 3 hour mark. 3 hour and 2 minutes. Woo woo!
Thank you all so much for sticking with us.
Oh shit! Thank you very much. That was awesome. Absolutely incredible. I had no idea this was not. What if Batman never existed and Gordon became a vigilante? How would his rogues be different from Batman's?
Interesting.
We'll discuss that one next show. Mike's really probably wanting to go to bed. During that time of the early 80s, it wasn't really necessary to read ASM, MTU, and Spectacular simultaneously. Too bad Spectacular and some of MTU is poorly collected. Yeah. Would definitely have a noir detective feel to it.
Yeah.
It's called Gotham Central.
Fair point.
No, book though. But all right. So, anyways, thank you guys all very much.
Thank
We
you
greatly appreciate all the
so
love.
much.
We had a lot of people tuning in tonight for us, which was awesome. We're not used to seeing that as well. And the fact that we went for 3 hours and everyone stuck around is fucking impressive. So
Wild. Yeah.
thank you all very much. And until next time, the power is yours.
You stay classy, internet.